Una diriwo rairo vanogara diriwo rarembanje nogara diriwo rairo vanogara diriwo rarembanje vanogara diriwo vakomana vanogara diriwo rarembanje vanogara diriwo musatambe navo vanogara diriwo rarembanje. Manero akanaka vana veZimbabwe, sanganai neni wenyu 𝗕𝗵𝗺 manero anaya nguva dziri kuita idzo quarter 9 on the 19th of June 2023. Tine nyaya nhasi yatoda kuti mbotaura guys. Nyaya yatiri kutaura panapa inyaya yakanaka. Tine nyaya yakanaka nhasi. I want to talk about what we think about our members of parliament, what we think about our opposition in Zimbabwe. I'm not going to talk about zvimwe, but toda kutarisa zvinhu zvakaita saizvozvo kuti it's now high time Zimbabweans we should fight together and end ZANU-PF rule. Whether you are opposition or whether you are you used to vote for ZANU-PF, it's time to vote ZANU-PF out. Hanzi nhasi mukoma Yuda ndasvikirana nepresentation handeitoni mukoma Boni. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. What I'm talking about today is we are going to look at what is the campaign. You are a member of parliament. You want to be a member of parliament for a constituency. I'm against a lot of members of parliament that we have in our country. We have got members of parliament who have been there for 23 years in parliament. Remember last time I said, a soldier in Zimbabwe, he signed 20 years contract of service. A soldier signed 20 years contract of service. A prison officer, sometimes we used to sign 25 years contract of service. In the police, they sign 20 years of service. That means you go into training, you are trained, you go and serve your nation, serve your country. You'll be like part of the security forces of Zimbabwe. So when you are part of the security forces of Zimbabwe, you are going to spend 20 years in the force. You are going to spend 25 years in the force. That should see you being remunerated enough. Mukoma Chichi really say. That should see you being paid enough. I didn't know Mpana is so daft. Mpana is so dull. A nurse in Zimbabwe is earning $350 US a month. I was telling him that 350, it's in the United Kingdom, it's half shift, 6 hours work of a nurse. Then he's saying because chingba chakachipa mZimbabwe, wakachipa mZimbabwe. We are talking about nurses, we are talking about professionals, people who are supposed to be paid, people who went to school, so that they earn a living, a standard, a much better way of living. Mkoma Nelson Mazgatri Magadi, George, Jimin, it's really a long time, my brother. So I was talking about soldiers being underpaid. I was talking about prison officers being underpaid in our country. I was talking about police officers being underpaid in our country. Remember last time I had a presentation where we had security agents who were involved in car accident, who died. Guys, a lot of people think that CIOs belong to ZANU-PF. No, they don't belong to ZANU-PF. Those are state security agents. They belong to Zimbabwe. Even if you become a member of CIO, if you are deployed in a closed security system, that's where you work. You will be like VIP protection. You will be protecting the ministers, the members of parliament, the president, and so forth. That we should not look at them like they belong to ZANU-PF. Although some of them later on will get compromised, used to kill, abduct and kill. Mkoma fanu kanyoka ayaya pachitungwiza zvirize mwana wamai blafan zviri kubatana parisei pachitungwiza wakomana ngoma weli mzuwa zviri kufamba here. Saka as a result, some of these CIOs are used by politicians to do dirty work for politicians, which they are not supposed to do. In the event that that member of CIO dies, guys, arangofanana newe. The children must be taken care by the state. Your widow, mukadzi wawasiya, must be taken care by the state. Unofanirwa kungowana mabenefits ekuita semunhu akaretire. Kuti dai wakaretire in 25 years, how much were you going to get paid? Apa unenge wafira pabasa, you are supposed to be remunerated or compensated well because unenge wafira pacraft. Anili murugona. That is what I said last time. But if we compare and contrast the duties of a security force member and the duties of a member of parliament, these are two different duties. A member of parliament is supposed to serve is a politician who makes decisions on behalf of the majority. So remember when in 2000 when we came together as opposition, pataka former MDC, a major reason that led us to form MDC, mkoma reason, a major reason that led to formation of MDC, or a major reason that went to formation and eventual launch of MDC in September 1999, then take our first election in 2000, was, first of all, Mugabe had overstayed in power. As a politician, remember I said, a politician's decision affects 15 million people. An engineer's decision affects probably 10 people. Doctor's error affects probably 1 person. But a politician, a president, an executive member, error or a defective decision making makes him affect probably 15 million people, can give starvation to a country, it can impact on the economy of a country, and the people will suffer, is what we are witnessing in our country. Mugabe made some errors. Comes Mdara Uyungwena is making serious errors in our life. Errors which we don't deserve. Ziko zirize nyaoma. Zirufamba era. Azi player yakapera isadi yatamba madi. Yakona msadi daro akumana. Bora rakangopera akumana. Msadi daro akumana. No man. Zirize no mara. Saka nyaya tiri kutaura panapa. Maplayers mazhinji ukaro yakapera asati atamba. Unozviketa iwe. Nyaya tiri kutaura panapa inyaya inosiririsa zvikuru. That we had members of parliament in 2000. We went into 2000 junior election and we won a lot of seats with these parliamentarians we have today. They were very young during that time. How are you, Mr. Ed? I'm well. And if you remember, in 2000, the youngest member of parliament was 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃. If you remember that, he was probably the youngest member of parliament who won a constituency he was very young, right? If you look at 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃𝗲𝗃 today, not I still remember timbopushana na 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃𝗲𝗃 tiri kuBorodale muna 2000 chita primary elections edu AMDC. That was then. I'm not going to say what happened during that time. That was then. Vanamdara Jamban vaivepo, vanamdara Femai vaivepo, Harare province che vanamdara Femai mnana 2000 muya chita primary elections edu taiotine divisions angari serious divisions. Today's politics hakuna division iri serious, guys. Tatine if you look at 2000 my elections or my primary elections at 2000 tangatine ma students vakomana ve student union vanatenda ibita vana lenmo jongwe vana 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃𝗲𝗃 tutara nezvawavo vanga vari vakomana vaibva nekuuniversity vari ma student union zvekuma student union vari vakomana vekuUZ. Taive tine ma trade unionists vanamdara Isaac Matongo, vanamdara Morgan Tsvangirai, vanamdara Gift Chimanikire, vanamdara Isaac Maposa, vana Shumba mdara Makore, vanga vakawanda seri vanatokozani kupa. They were coming from trade union ZCTU. Vaive my head or people who were in different organizations zaiforma Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Union. Taivetine ma technocrats vakada sana mdara Ian Matongo, Ian Makoni, mdara Makoni ya Ian Makoni ya tangatine crew rimwewo raizvita Magweta, and I sense division in our 𝗃𝗃𝐶. Don't worry, Maizo, there is no division at all. This is why I came to you guys to tell you exactly what it is like. I'm talking about 2000 elections. This is when we should have had serious divisions in 2000. Because Waitukatarisa, so I was organizing secretary for Harare East district, yakazowinwa na Biti. Ndaiwendina 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 anga ari candidate in 2000. Nakandina Tendai Biti anga ari candidate in 2000. Nakandina 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 anga ari candidate in 2000. Nakandina 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 anga ari candidate also in 2000. So these were heavyweights. If you look at 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, achaive chakadzidza was a heavyweight. 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 anga ari Harare Residents Association. That man was a heavyweight in politics. Takatina 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 he was a businessman. Ave a businessman, aine mabawa nechima businesses ake Mkaradhi yawo. Pamari chaipo 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 anga ane mari. He was a businessman. Tatina Tendai Biti achibva ranga riri gweta plus anga ane connection ne-student union nezvema-student chichichi zvekuuniversity zvazvo. Saka we had not now apa hatisina vanhu vari kucontesta election apa. Tendai Biti versus Makamu hapana zviripo apa. We had serious divisions, ladies and gentlemen, in 2000. We had macandidates ekufunga kuti waiti unoziva kuti vamwe vanhu mupolitics vaitsvaga mari, they were looking for money. We had serious candidates kuti taiziva tikavhotera Montella akawina akata MP tichadya chibhanzi bosi Montella anga ane mari. Waiti ukatarisa campaign team yaMontella vafana vacho vaiti vakafamba vaidya ma-ice cream, vaidya ma-pork pie, vaidya vafana veteam campaign yaMontella vaidya nelifa, vaidya lifa. Vafana veteam ya 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 vaiti vakafamba baba sorry sekuru moms misha makadini ava ndimainya kubereka makadini sekuru ndokwasai waitokatasa macampaign team wako ini district ndarisiri campaign team yemunhu ndakambotanga tichikambena naTimothy. I'm not going to say what transpired primary election iwayo, but yanga iri secret ballot voting. I was reading about what my brother 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 was writing on Twitter. It's very unfortunate. He is a journalist. He's our brother. We love him. But sometimes what he is writing on Twitter about what happened in Harare East, I've seen that he is someone who doesn't know what happened before in Harare East. He is just looking at what happened now. Harare East has got a rich history in terms of my elections. If you look at my primary elections in Harare East, probably 2000 was the first and last time Harare East held primary elections, which were won by Timothy. But on consensus ground, the constituency was given to Biti. Biti lost that election. But on consensus and agreement which was made between the district, the president Richard Morgan Tsvangirai, and the aspiring candidate by then Biti, Tendai was given that constituency to contest. What happened in Harare is called democracy. That is democracy. So what my brother 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 is writing, what my brother 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 is writing, it's an opinion from a journalist. And more, it's an opinion from a journalist. Atifane kumtuka kuti 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 anyorere zvaanyora. But zvaari kunyora does not change anything. You understand? It does not change anything. If you understand what I'm saying here, whatever our brother 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 is writing on Twitter does not change the fact that pure democracy was initiated in Harare East. I'm looking at the first primary election which was held in 2000. This is the second primary election held in Harare East in 2023. In 23 years, only 2 primary elections were held in Harare East. From 2000, when Biti was given this constituency by a consensus after he lost to Timothy, he proved to be a force to reckon with. I don't want to lie. We didn't want anyone to contest Tendai because we knew that he had made an impact in parliament. That was in 2000. 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃. That was in 2000. Right. After that, there was no primary election held in Harare East until this year. Kusvika nhasi pazoitwa yamaona primary election iri kuraise eyebrows. Some people vachitaura kuti yakazodii. This is not the first time Biti losing in a primary election. No. This is the second time Tendai losing. So, Kwaari TB, he knows. But because I still remember we had 3 wards in 2000. We had Ward 18, we had Ward 9, we had Ward 46. We had Ward 46. How are you, Mkoma Moza? Azida Mkoma inogi mtena 23 years ari parliament ngasire ovamwe. Yeah. So we had 3 wards. Ward 9, Ward 18, Ward 46. So now Ward 46, we lost Ward 46 in Harare East. And they were left out with the 2 wards, Ward 9 and Ward 18. Tendai Biti won resoundingly in Ward 9. Makam won resoundingly in Ward 18. If you tally the results, Tendai has lost the primary election. Makam has won that constituency. This is why I am saying here, it is not the first time that Tendai has lost that constituency in a primary election. Vanhu vangada havo kuda kushokeka kuti why Tendai ruza, why this? No. It's second time Tendai losing it. When he lost it for the first time in 2000, we went on a consensus. Takagara pasi nana Timothy Mbao, because what happened in 2000, it was justified. Because Tendai was busy launching the part abroad so that we can find one or abroad to help us or to help us with funds to run an organization that was ready to govern the country. As my coming general salute. Thank you, Iron Lady. Thank you so much. So, Tendai Biti had no time, had no chance to campaign in the constituents like any other candidate. As 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 Harare East Isiria Margaret Dongwere, this year Margaret Dongo. I'm not sure where Margaret Dongo is. When I came into politics, I think Magi was the member of parliament there, I'm not sure. But 2000 election, Tendai battled it out with Mau. Remember that guy is Mau. I don't know his real name, that guy is Mau. Ndiye wataka zvambura. Ngainzi Mau yawa. Saka you find kuti Dongo aive kuSunning deal. Yes, I remember that. So you find kuti we sat down, President vasati vashaika vatsvangirai Harare East District, Tendai naMbau, takagara pasi, we iron out all differences. Tikati ona Mbau was a very good candidate, but anga asiri resourceful. That constituency yaida munhu ari resourceful, anokwanisa kubatanidza zvinhu together so that we can move in a short period of time. Tendai came with the resources. He brought cars, he brought mari dzekuti fambe tichidya and so forth, tichikambena. Saka takagara pasi, Mbau, we rewarded Mbau work yanga aita, and he agreed to be reassigned. This is when Mbau went to Manicaland to become a chairperson of Manicaland province. After that, after consensus, that constituency was given to Tendai Biti. But you all know, this is not secret, that Tendai lost primary elections in 2000. But because he was a disadvantaged speech during that time, he was never given opportunity by the party to campaign in Harare East. He was busy campaigning abroad, selling the party abroad so that we have one sympathizer onesu kutuane support. He played a pivotal role in the strengthening of the MDC. Kuti MDC izonzi yamira izikanwa ku America, izikanwa ku Russia, izikanwa ku Australia, izikanwa ku Europe. It was because of Biti, who was running around the world selling the idea of the MDC. So he was not given opportunity to campaign in a domestic environment. So the people of Harare East did not know about Tendai Biti. We only knew him as a lawyer. Even when he was introduced to us that he was part of the candidate, we were so surprised. You understand? But we all agreed. We understood why Biti should be the candidate for Harare East District. And we were happy to hit the ground. We went to different wards, different branches, hold our meetings. Taita ma meetings usiku nemasikati. Tairara tichifamba na Tendai. Tichimutengesa kuvanhu kuti uyu ndiye candidate yedu. Takamboya tina Timothy Mbao, but no, Timothy has stepped down, has given way to Honorable Biti to be a member of parliament for Harare East. Tendai Biti, we won that constituency. I still remember we won by about 19,000 or so, 20-something thousand votes. I can't remember the actual figure. And we were so happy. We thrust Tendai onto the seat. He went into parliament. He never disappointed. When he went in parliament, Biti never disappointed. He kept ZANU-PF on toes. He made sure that ZANU-PF sweat. Andimona. Ndakabva ndasuspendwa kubasa neissue iyoyo. Tendai stood with me, took my matter to the Supreme, to the High Court. High Court tichirovana ZANU, tichirovana neprison. Tendai achiwina nyaya dziya. So he performed zvekuti munhu wese was so happy in Harare constituency. In Harare East constituency. Nyaya yakanetsa pana Tendai. I want to be honest with the people of Zimbabwe. Now we have gone to 2023. Takuenda kuma elections. Until now ZANU-PF is sweating. They sweat. They don't want Biti. This is why you see they try to charge him. They try this and that. ZANU-PF does not want anything like Biti near parliament. This is the truth. This is the truth. Considering all the members of parliament we have, or we had before, constitutional lawyers who went into parliament and never said anything. When Douglas Munzora, they were in parliament, they never said anything. But ukaverenga answered, you can tell. Could Biti, aiwa achibaba. Mpana achibaba. Akaenda in parliament, akaisa an impact in parliament. Right. Nobody doubts that. No one is doubting about that. The problem, yandakaona kuna Biti, I even highlighted a lot of these issues to him. Problem yake ndiye kuti, one, mpana wacho are a bit arrogant. Not arrogant yekuti haadi vanhu, but arrogant yekuti he doesn't have time. Arrogance yaBiti is lack of time with the people of his constituents. This is what I discovered about Tendai. This is what I discovered about Tendai. Tendai forgets that the constituents that he held, he was a lucky gentleman. Because if you look at these constituents, wana Glenlone, wana Borodale, wana suburbs, wana Mandara, wana Kamfinza, Chisipit, suburbs, he was not going to sweat in those suburbs in terms of working with the youngsters. So vafana vanenge vari kuma constituents vai vanongoita donkey work vanodaka thank you kekunzi at least MP vauya 𝗕𝗵𝗃 ndiorganizer ndaenda MP ndasangana MP paroda vanipa $100 ndatotenga chingwa ndatomhanya ndatengera vana sugar ndatosvika kumba mukadzi otoshamisika kuti Yudha baba hamusati mahora but mauya nechingwa. Ndo zvakaleka Tendai. Akaleka kuziva kuti vanhu vaanoshanda navo muconstitution, some of them marova vanoda kudya. Andimuona nyaya yacho. Saka at the end haana kukwanisa kudzoka constituency kuzoshanda nevafana. Ukaona vafana kuHarare East, why Tendai lost this time, they are complaining about that. Inini tiri kuHarare East takashayikirwa nemusikana ainzi Angela. Akaita accident, but ndanda akuno when she died. Akaita accident, akafa. Kukafa mpana youth chairman oda ainzi Tsoro. Kukafa mpana we youth edagara uzimfosa ainzi Brian. Kukafa mpana aigara ku tobacco sales kyoka ainzi Tinashe. Kukazofa chairman we district Harare East ainzi Isaac Maposa. News coming from Harare East is not good. That the member of parliament probably did not assist during the funeral or he did not show up during the funeral. These were key players in Tendai Biti's campaign to be member of parliament for Harare East constituency. In other words, I can simply say Tendai Biti failed because of complacence. Yekuti aiwa inini vanhu vagara vachindiziva, vanhu vagara vanondida. And he never put effort to make sure kuti ashanda nevafana vandiri kutaura ivavo. Look at Job Sikhala. If you go to St. Mary's today, no one will remove Job Sikhala there. This is why you see ZANU-PF put him in prison to make sure that he does not campaign, he doesn't stand there. I always to say Job Sikhala himself. In 2000, after my elections, when Job became a member of parliament, akapiwa, and what is Wopo saying about Bereka Mwana? I'm saying Mkoma Mangislav, Wopo is looking at what is happening now. He doesn't have a history of that constituency. That in I don't want to say what happened when we held a primary election in which Biti lost, in which Edi lost, in which Ndara Def Sam Zimu lost. That election was won by 𝗕𝗿 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗿. The elimination, yes, because Harare North was removed. It was phased out. Sakayana was fused into Harare East. So this Makam is a registered voter. Anga member of parliament were North, Arimu East. Savango major, North and East got one constituency. Sakayana two members of parliament. And we need one. We don't need both. So, Makam, there is nowhere Makam can live because his constituents was fused together. Harare East is a combined constituents, North and East. Sakawango Tora side regu North resere wakarikanda ku Harare East. Sakai one constituents with the two people wangawarma members of parliament, both effective. Nobody wants to lose a Makam. Nobody wants to lose Tendai Biti. We need both of them. Saka murikona vanhu vakutaura kuti Tendai has been there for 23 years. If he is cast there again, anenge ane 28 years ari parliament. So already anenge aita sepasi ukuru hwaMugabe wataichema nawo kuti Mugabe has been in parliament for so by 2000, Mugabe was 20 years in power, and the people were not happy. Why Mugabe was in power for 20 years? People were not happy. Surprisingly, the people who were not happy about Mugabe serving 20 years in parliament as president of Zimbabwe are happy to let someone to serve 28 years as member of parliament. So that's hypocrisy on part of the opposition. So they did it deliberately. It's not deliberate to cause havoc. No. It's part of the elimination. It's done every election. I think every 10 years or so. Or every 5 years. How was the nomination, guys? I haven't followed it. I'm not privy to what is happening in Cowdrey Park. But the hot seat, what is being spoken a lot about in Zimbabwe today is about the Harare East constituency. This is where all the eyes are focusing. All the rumors are focusing to the extent that some people are saying Biti is opting to stand as an independent candidate. That is not going to happen. I assure you, as far as I know Tendai Biti, you won't stand there as a member, as an opposition or as an independent candidate for that constituency. And but Makamu Hetcliffe constituency is still there. Why didn't he remain? Is he registered to Hetcliffe? This is the matter. You can become a member of parliament in a constituency where you are a registered voter. So I'm not sure if he is registered in Hetcliffe as well. I'm not sure. Excellent in parliament, but organic grassroots support Dololo, Zeni Toto. This is exactly what I'm saying here. That if you look at Biti, see, history in parliament, Chidomoro Baba Chachi. Chikamira parliament tosimuka kuti baba vasimuka. Andrigona. But ku ground, ku grassroots, he hasn't done a lot in grassroots. Andrigona nyati kutaura. He hasn't done exactly. Kune vanhu variko kuna kumaprazi kuchiva ndataura pana ndikati ndikasangana na MP wangu muroad anofanira kugara anti masendi muomwe paasangana neni ndirovha handishande ndairova toitoi chimba chirara chimba atikasangana afanira kungondikandao kana ka $100 kana ka $50 shapiro gamba rangu iri $50 and vanotengera vana chingwa ndo zvinongodiwa negrassroot chete. Ukanzwa macomments ari kubva kugrassroot kwaBiti, they are so pathetic comments. Youngsters are not happy with the Tendai. The country is happy. The country is very happy with Biti. Opposition in parliament, we are happy with the Tendai. But grassroots, ndo inoita kuti uve member of parliament. It's not parliament inokusarudza. Hauvoterwa neparliament. Your performance in parliament is not what is going to take you back in parliament. Your interaction with the grassroots is key in your return to parliament. Andimona. Saka nyaya iri apa is interaction with the grassroots. Ndo yawisa Tendai. Tendai hana kuwiswa kuti agone basa. Tendai hana kuwiswa kuti is not a good member of parliament. But the results indicate his interaction with the grassroots. And the comments coming from those youngsters are not very good or not pleasing for Tendai. And to the extent that there is no point to aite nharo. Boss kana akada kuita nharo dzekuti ndini chendinoda kuita candidate ipapo. Vanhu vacho vatatunoita bhora musango. President tovhotera vachamisa. MP tovhotera wezano kana independent. So if Tendai stand there, mukaisa independent candidate ikoko is going to win. But I think pama nomination apo one Biti anongoita senator. This is why President vakataura kuti if we want both, if the party is happy with having both these guys, one tomsa ku Senate, one oita MP. Inini, I had an opinion that if possible, Tendai can stand as member of parliament for Harare East because we want him in parliament. Then Makam would be seconded to the or redeployed to the Senate. This is what I think. I'm not encouraging voter buying. I am saying here, Vafana veku Harare East, what they are saying is, if Harare East has got an independent candidate, 𝗕𝗿𝗃 ka fueled Biti, vanhu vari kuti let's vote for an independent candidate. You understand what I'm saying? It's because of his interaction with the grassroots. Kukutenda kuti ponela thanks ndokutengera kana sweet, it's not vote buying. Because election inenge yapera. Election has been done and it's over. Tasangana na ponela ndokutengera sweet. Which vote am I buying now after election? What I'm saying is members of parliament should learn to work with the grassroots. Those are the people who will vote you back in parliament. And on. So what I'm saying is kuti mukoma wedu hopo chingono ari kunyora zvaari kunyora. But no history ndakupa yeHarare East yaana, he doesn't know it. He doesn't know this history. He doesn't know Edmontelo. He doesn't know Mdara Deft Samdzimu. He doesn't know Timothy Mbao. He doesn't know what transpired in the primary elections in 2000. But akashandisa secret ballot paper. The reason why kwanzi mimi enda bereka mwana enda kuseri kwemumwe takashandisa secret ballot paper iro takarishandisa in the first primary election that was won by Mbao. So atete say. So mukoma wopuo, he doesn't know this history I'm talking about. It's very important history when it comes to selection of candidates. Why the party would say, okay, fine, Biti miraba, Makam miraba, wanda Biti enda, wanda Makam enda kuseri kwake. There is a reason why the party said that. That seat is gone once votes are divided between Biti and... it's not gone. Votes are not going to be divided, Ponela. Are not going to be divided. Because if he chooses to stand as an independent, he is going to lose. If he chooses to stand on 𝗕𝗿𝗃, then I can buy your point now. The seat will go. If he chooses to stand on 𝗕𝗵𝗃, the seat will go. Or else, the seat will be retained by Biti, but with lesser votes, because a lot of people would boycott. This is the feeling that is coming from the constituents. I am in groups in that constituency. 𝗕𝗿𝘆 Murise. So what I'm saying, why I'm saying this is, when the members of parliament, when they go into campaign, into a campaign, especially for these primary elections, Madam Wife Flows, how are you? If you are going into a campaign, you must understand what is this campaign about. When you go into a campaign with someone like Tendai Biti, it's an uphill task for anyone competing with or contesting Tendai Biti, considering the record he set in parliament. No member of parliament in the history of Zimbabwe has managed to set that history or the record that Tendai Biti set in parliament. President Chamisa was probably going to surpass that rate if he had continued to stand as a member of parliament. But what Tendai Biti set in parliament, none of the Zimbabwean member of parliament ever set that record in the history of that country. If Chamisa wins, no problem. Otherwise, Temo had been created there. So you see, if you are an aspiring member of parliament contesting Tendai Biti in Harare East primaries, it's an uphill task. You must know about your campaign. What is your campaign for? Any member of parliament, aspiring member of parliament going into Harare East to contest Biti, if you use interaction with the grassroots as a key campaign component, obvious Biti unomuja. But ukaenda kuitara ndichazokuitira zvakati muparliament, ndichazonumira ndichidhibheta zvakati muparliament, Tendai haumudyi. Because if you read the Hansard, you understand what I'm talking about. And oneness, 𝗕𝗵𝗃 must come together to resolve this. Both needed. Both people are very important. To me, both are very important. Especially Tendai, to me, is very important. Biti, to me, is very, very important. To me, Biti is very important. Because I know what he does when he goes to parliament. I'm confident. ZANU-PF don't want Biti. As Opochingono is confused. He is just confused because he doesn't know what I'm telling you. He doesn't know what I'm talking about here. That the issue which impacted on Biti is not about his performance. It's about interaction with the grassroots. Tendai did not interact much with the grassroots. He did not know or understand the dynamics of what the people in his constituents wanted him to do. So that is the issue. In I would want Biti in parliament. But the grassroots is saying no, they don't want him. Even if he win, he has been there for 23 years. He did nothing for us. Hans is not appreciative. He did not come to us with thanks very much. That fell. So, what is this campaign about? When you go to the people, ask yourself, what is this campaign about? What is your mission and what is your vision? If you are campaigning to become a member of parliament, especially when you are contesting Munagaida Sabiti, you must understand, yes, you must understand the social and political environment you are campaigning in. 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, he is best as finance minister. Tendai is best as finance minister, is probably the best finance minister Zimbabwe has ever had. He is the best member of parliament that the opposition has ever had. If you read the Hansard, this is when you understand the impact of Tendai Biti in parliament. This is why you see ZANU-PF does not want Biti in parliament. Because if you look at the finance report, yakapina mavakwano ZANU-PF yakazoita kuti Biti pakazomboitwa recalled in parliament vakasara vakazvivhara Biti anga abata vanhu vake. But one aita all these clean-up campaigns in his constituency. It's not that, Mangis Mkomalavu, I want you to understand the social and the political environment in the constituencies in Zimbabwe. Zve clean up zvinoshanda kunana England zvazvo. Zvekuti unoona nevanhu motsvaira apa moenda kumba. KuZimbabwe vanhu vazhinji vari mumaconstituency marova. Get it from me, I'm telling you. These people are unemployed. Vanouya vaswera newe member of parliament vachitenderera newe vachiimba vachita sei. At the end of the day vodzokera kumba. Anenge asina chaakabata. Mangwana omuka futi the following day. Weta mwedzi dhu achifamba na-MP achikambena. Tohwina election. MP otadza kukutengerawo kana switi. Let's understand the social environment of these constituencies. Vanhu variko vanokaiti ndikaenda kumacampaigns ndichawe at least MP vanondiziva ndichawanawo something. Oh, mazvita aisikubuda akandwa nani Mkoma Edi Graham. Thank you so much Mkoma Edi. 100 stars dzatakandirwa panapa. I know for the past 3 weeks I think these are my first 100 stars that I've received for the past 3 weeks. Thank you so much Mkoma Edi. So what I'm saying is, if you are a member of parliament, you should know your mission and vision. You should understand your political and social environment. Une vanhu vakaita same constituency mako. Because if you become effective in parliament, avadye effectiveness yako in parliament. They eat what you bring to them. Mzukuru, thank you so much. Keti Chwasa, thank you so much. Mwana wokubereka. Zamuroka ya mwando rikuru mwanangu. And thank you Mkoma Ed. So if you don't understand your social environment, but you want to be member of parliament, and you don't understand your political environment which you are campaigning in, then you are bound to fall. No matter how good you are in parliament. They prefer kuisa mpana vanobhemana embanje vachishare mudzango mbanje kuti enda unta member of parliament ikoko. Vanozata akanowana tumasenda anoya tunoshare kuno. Ndataura a very simple example here ya Job Sikhala. I always refer to that incident. Job Sikhala paakapuwa allocation yemotikari yekuparliament zvimanisa nadboard zvazvo. Job Sikhala sold that car. Akanovaka musika mamai anga akuwana pekutengesera. Ndichiri kuHarare kuHarare East kwego. Ndaiswera ndiri paMandara paipa. Saturday tetripo Sunday totamba bhora tichinakirwa wana chinwadoro chita seri paipa. You can hardly see your member of parliament. Zvandaimutaurira Tendai unofanirwa kuti kana nyangwe iri weekend iyaya unongoti wovhu paMandara paipa. Panenge pane vanhu vanongomira vanokuunganira MP vanokumhanyira. Wosiya watenga 2-3 maskadhi vakagara apo. Guys, nangondipfuura ndichikuona kuti muri right here. Chete watopedza woenda. Tendai aisangana ma-constituents nevanhu. But Tendai preferred taibhuka vana St. Luke's kuchisipiti, taibhuka mahall kunana Borodale. Ndokwaiuya because of the people in his constituency, vazhinji ma-businessmen, vazhinji vakari varungu and so forth. Saka they preferred a quiet area yekuti vaipinda building vogara pasina Tendai votaura. Andimona achivapa feedback achita sei. That is the type of constituency anayo. But kune ma-garden boy. Constituency ya Biti yakazara ma-garden boy. Yakazara maneni vanoshandira varungu mudzimba, ma-house girl. Ndo constituency yayi Harare East. Vanhu vazhinji vari kuyeke landlords, varungu, businessmen. Do you know no aigara wana zvinavashe? Aigara kuHarare East pamandara zvinavashe, general zvinavashe. Ndo kune State House yeZimbabwe, Vice President ainzi mudhara uya chainzani chaita ngemhumha chainzani chimudhara Musika. Aigara muna Harare Drive. State House yeZimbabwe iri muna Harare Drive. Kabva pana Pringu, kona Pringu na Harare Drive. Uchingoti dzikei pazasipai utosvika pa State House. Ndo kunana mandari ndo kunogara kuri kuvaka wana Philip Chiyangwa. Ana atete QD Chamisa explained this agad we don't get angry for not being sent to save, or I don't think it will be an issue. It's Opuo who is just getting confused. Because Mkoma Opuo Mkoma otherwise mdiki kwandiri. He doesn't know, he doesn't understand it. Very few people know this. This is the benefit of you guys coming to this platform to learn. Opuo does not know the information I'm giving you here. The 2000 election or primary elections we held in Harare East, which led Tendai to be defeated by 𝗕𝗿𝗃𝗃𝗃. Opuo Chingono does not know. He was not there. The dynamics, what happened there, I'm not privy to say it to the public, what happened there. But in India, don't understand that. Same issue yakajisa Tendai ipapo. That's the same issue. Yamudyisa futi na makamu. And the same issue that led Tendai to be defeated na Mbau pama primary elections in 2000 is the same issue that led Tendai to be defeated na makamu. Tendai very effective in parliament. When he goes to court, very effective as a lawyer. But grassroots, he lost touch in grassroots. Kana achienda grassroots, haenda akabata zvinotarisirwa negrassroots yake. Taimtaurira kuti ukasvika pamandara pai kana ukaenda kwamukanda bhutsu kana ukaenda paathlon pamashops paathlon paya ukasvika narangeta wakagara apa nana mudhara mupofu tenga maskadhi ndo zvavanoda kuvakomana vayo tenga madrinks ndo zvavanongoda chete MP vayo panapa vatisatengera nyama taakutogocha vakutora kugochigocha wopfuura woenda. It does not cost you much. So he lost touch with the social and political environment in his constituents, but being very effective in parliament. I want him in parliament, because if we don't have Tendai in parliament, then tingetaakutarisa vanhu vakaita saanani. Vamwe ma-MP edu chaanenge kuti ataura anenge achitaura kunge ari kukotsira kupusa. And did you see? So when you want to go into constituents with a member of parliament, think what are your goals? Because the goals that these Zimbabweans want is to their life. They want their life to be better. They want their lives to be better, and this must be your goal. Even when you are campaigning, you don't tell people kutrukenda kumhansard. That was an error that my brother Tendai did when he was campaigning to become to be retained for that constituency. I saw the video. I was embarrassed. I was very embarrassed. I never expected that from Tendai Biti. I was embarrassed. I don't want to lie. And then I want Tendai to be in parliament. I don't know what the party will do, but I want, compared to Makam, I want Tendai to be in parliament. But he made some errors. Tendai made a lot of errors, especially that video yakaburitsa achikampena madzimai akagara paipa achitaura kuti atidi hanzi ndiri kuona vasina mabvi nyoka rova imusoro. That was an error. You don't say that. But I don't know so be to be in parliament as finance minister. I want Tendai there. He made an error, Tendai. I tried to send him a message. He never replied it. This is another issue. A member of parliament, you must be reachable. Tendai has not been reachable. If I show you how many messages I've sent to Tendai, how many phone calls I've made to Tendai, especially when he released that video, I tried to call him. I tried to contact him. I sent some messages to Tendai Biti. He never replied me in a day. Sakandakazo the other day, the other day. Ndika try a foot, he never replied. He never answered my calls. You can tell with WhatsApp message Yatika Blue that he has seen the message, but he doesn't. He didn't bother to reply. I saw video. I win a word 9. I win a word 18. There are 2 words. Mkoma McDonald. So what I'm saying is that impact, that social environment a member of parliament operates under, he must be reachable. I want to tell you something. Nelson Chamisa, or President Nelson Chamisa, or Advocate Nelson Chamisa, Murume uya ane 15 million supporters in Zimbabwe. Even Mnanga Gwandofunga ndombo textira Nelson udumningina wandijanya. Bata zealous unobata TB. Ndakabata vanhu vakawanda. Ini ndine nhamba dza TB. Toto. Ndine nhamba dza Tendai. Tendai knows me in and out. I was his organizer. Zvekuti phone yangu ikaringa yakanzi Shepherd Yuda, Tendai should not hesitate to answer my phone. I was very close to Tendai, to the extent that one wakandiona for ndiri munhu waBiti, because I like the guy. I have been the organizing secretary for that constituency. Tendai knows me in and out. He represented me ku High Court ndadzingwa basa. Saka phone yangu ndikamusendera message ndikamuti honorable Shepherd Yuda. He knows. Even if I ring him to try to talk to him, he knows. There are stark differences between Biti and Honorable and President Chamisa. To be honest with you, ndakarwara COVID nini. Ndikaenda kuchipatara. Ndiri muchipatara, I never thought that I would survive. The first person to call me in the hospital is President Nelson Chamisa. Ndainyatsonzwa kuti mukuru akadzamirwa nevoice. Ndichikosora zvisingaiti neCovid. Akanditi Mkoma Shepherd, ndakufonerai. Since nyaya tinamati. Tikanamata zvikanzi hakuna kwaunoenda mwana wamai nyika isati yasununguka. I am telling you this, that the president of the party was the first person to ring me. Ndiri muchipatara ndakufa, President Nelson Chamisa. Ndikasend a message right now to President Chamisa. Answer inouya. Ndikafona right now ndakagara panapa kufonera president izvozvizvi. Vanondidaira. Imagine how many calls does Chamisa receive on daily basis? How many messages does Chamisa receive on daily basis? But he takes time to reply you. If I show you messages that don't receive on our president, I may know none it in politics, but he does not ignore me. I assure you 100% that President Chamisa will never ignore anyone. Anyone, no matter what. Andini muruona. Saka nyaya ndiri kutaura ndeyekuti kana uri member of parliament, be reachable. Know your social and political environment. Know the people who support you. This is exactly Mkoma Ed. Tendai lost touch with the social and political environment which he was operating under. I can show you messages that I've texted Tendai. At one time, that of Stanford, Mfana Wakistan, could Tendai Tendai Kunoko. You phone him, Kunoko, he doesn't answer you. And so Zota so problem in there. I think he's a businessman. This is what I can conclude. That Tendai is a businessman. Ndakasvika extend yekufonera Mai Kore, vice president. Imagine. Ndichitsvaga Tendai, I had to go through vice president. Ndikabvunza Mai Kore ndikati nai vice president. Ndiri kuzama kubata honorable Tendai Biti. handisi kuvabata. Maikore vakanditi neniwo kuno kuyudha vanga vari kwamutare that day ndiri kutraya kubata Tendai handisi kumubata. Zvikanzi maybe because akaenda kuoperation yake yemaziso here, this is why tisiri kukwanisa kuita sei kumubata. Ndikati no problem, charamba nchizama. Let's not worry too much. They will both be in parliament. Why didn't they include Sikhala? I am not sure. So you find Anzano Chinya Lusaka President Vanenge very busy one. Exactly. This is why what I'm saying. President Biti, President Chamisa, no matter how busy that gentleman is, he will reply you. If you want to test it, if you want to try it, try it. If you want to try it, try it. Text Chamisa. As in what President Magadi, as same with the General Chidagwa, Agajiwa, Namunya, same problem. Yeah, problem in McDonald, problem in Mavuku, Nagaita Urainin. Mavuku is the only constituency in Zimbabwe that has never retained a member of parliament. Even in Pakapinda Jimmy, drag Chipinda with a member of parliament, I knew it. But he is not going to retain that seat. Mavuku has a history. In a Norondo. Yekuti. Hakuna member of parliament akambozoka kumavuku. Remember 2000, Pakapinda Justin Mtenda Zamera kumavuku. He did not retain that seat. Kuchiva Justin kuchipinda Timothy Mbao. Mbao did not retain that seat. Pachiva Mbao pachipinda James Maridad. Pakapinda James Maridad, inindaida kuti papinde James Chidagwa. Chidagwa akati elbowed out pakapinzwa James Maridad. James Maridad achipedza temu, haanatomupedza temu, akanga atonyandurana nevakomana vemabvuku. Pakapinda Honorable James Chidagwa. Saka Mabvuku, if you look at the history of all constituencies in Zimbabwe, Mabvuku is the only constituency that has never been retained by a sitting member of parliament. Apinda wese anongeda one term or pass. Apinda wese Mabvuku one term or pass. Apinda wese ye munyao achada one term or pass. Believe me, you won't retain that seat. Mwana wa wiwa ajiliwana innocent zaipa azinaumira mushe. Yeah, boss, you cannot stop people. Maizo is democracy. That is democracy. This is why we are fighting ZANU-PF. It imposes candidates. 𝗕𝗵𝗃 does not impose candidates. It gives you opportunity to practice democracy. Kanampana ajgiwa, guys. There's nothing we can do. Even dai baba wake waripoka dai wangu achikojiwa. You understand? So, what I'm saying is, who elbowed out Chidagwa? Do you mean pane wanotoisa magokora? Aiwa pakapinda James Maridad pakaiswa gokora kuna Chidagwa. Babatani, I'm telling you, what I understand, ndakaita donkey work inini kuno. Tikaita donkey work yedu tikapedza tikabata boys tikapedza tikataura no, we are tatovhumirana kuti James Chidagwa must be honorable, must be MP for Mabvuku. Pandakazonzwa kuti paiswa gokora. And Jimmy won. Pakaiswa gokora, Jimmy akabviswa. That was in MDC. Saka urikona President Chamisa vakayane a different in Ngrinanzi. Simon Chamisa not sure of the name. Akambotaurawo kuti parliament. Kuti parliament. I don't know. Saka you see kuti James was elbowed, James Chidagwa, because uyakapinda achinzi ndiye presidential spokesperson. Ainzi ndi spokesperson wa President Richard Morgan Tsvangirai. Saka aitonzi andiwana president achibva apinzwa ipapo. That was MDC. This is why you see President Chamisa is using a different method. As Tsvangirai was the problem. President Chamisa is using a different method that is being used by 𝗕𝗵𝗃. You know, Chamisa, President Chamisa maoko wakachena asina tsvina, asina upomerwa. Yokunzi Chamisa ndiye akazodai. kana madyiwa constituency yenyu mazvidyisa mega because makaselecta mega munhu wamunoda mukamutakura mukaenda naye kuna vaChamisa mukati uyu ndiye MP wedu watinoda. Saka President Chamisa's hands are clean, are very clean. I'm not sure to the QD about Kupe, but I'm not sure. I'll find out. President Nelson Chamisa's hands are clean. The constituencies are not. What they are just taking to the national is a candidate. Wow, we watada watukuda kuma vuku tukuda ningi, watukuda kwa Harare East tukuda ningi. You understand? So that is so, for you guys. You need to understand your mission and vision, right? And then you understand your social and political environment. So uchaenda nazo kune vanhu. Sikhala Junior need to grow politically. I think it was just pressure. Otherwise, angasata aiva. I don't know. Because remember, Zim, 1980, Joyce Mjuru was 23 years old. He became a member of parliament. In 2000, I think Honorable 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 was probably 20 or 21 years old when he became member of parliament for kunana St. Mary's. Saka kutiti mfana uyu wawiwa achiri mwana mdiki tinenge tadzvanyirira munhu. Maybe he has got potential to grow as a politician. Maybe he's grown as a politician. Remember when President Chamisa became a national youth chairperson, aita akabata microphone akamira panyika yese yaichema. Age does not mean anything. As mark my words, as a nation, people will continue to be taken advantage by these selfish politicians. This is the problem, right, that we have. That we are an opposition political party. Our aim is to control the government. And by that mission and vision we have as opposition party, we must be vicious when it comes into these issues. But the problem is they would let my politicians manipulate President Chamisa vane maoko akachena vakati constituency itai zvamuita kana iri concourse yenyu kana ichisi chamuri kuita ikoko chatiri kuda candidate one. So President Chamisa is not involved in the selection of the candidates. The competition that you guys, the pressure that you find yourselves in as rivals has got nothing to do with President Chamisa. Sort yourselves in your constituencies. Have one candidate, bring him for endorsement. So you find that the political strategy that our president is using, it will leave President Chamisa with clean hands. He has got no say in whatever a constituents do. Vanhu vari kurovana vega mumaconstituency mavo, vari kunetsana vega mumaconstituency mavo. President Chamisa is not involved in your constituencies. Sort your things out, guys. Chete. Saka, what is required now is we are looking at the available deadline. Mswa 21 ndo pari kuenda kunoitwa nomination court. Ndo patichaziva kuti vari kunzi hanzi yakuda kuti stand as independent, yakuda kuti say go. If you want to stand as independent, uchifuka kuti vanhu vanokuda enda. Vanhu kana vakuramba. No matter you are going to stand as independent. If people say no, they say no. This is not first time. Honorable Biti was once recalled from parliament. Atina kana munhu wanu watakambonzwa achichema pana. Our best has been recalled. What? Apana watakambonzwa achichema. Tendai was absent in parliament, was recalled from parliament. Akangoona kuZimbabwe vachine pfungwa dzekukudza vari diaspora kuti uyai muvote vaziva tichiri kure. Yeah, problem yacho ndakazotaurira someone umwe pagroup achituka vanhu vekudiaspora. Hey, mimi muri tikangasa, hey, ita zvinhu zvenyu ikoko, tikamudza tika iwe imbonyarara shamwari. Isusu we play a very crucial role, not in party politics but in the economy of the country. Kuti mudye mwane magetsi mari dzatotumira kuZimbabwe. Does it mean Biti is out of parliament? The results shows that, but there might be a consensus to say one of them will be deployed into Senate and one will go into the election, into the member of parliament. I would prefer Tendai to be member of parliament and Makam to go into Senate. Democracy, president. That is pure democracy. Last time, remember, when I discussed about pure democracy, that is 𝗕𝗵𝗃 is the only political party in SADC, if not in Africa or global, that is implemented a pure democracy strategy that will leave you usingacheme. Because can you remember, an aspiring member of parliament wakamira apa, mumwe wako akamira apa, mbobva manzi wanda Biti enda kuseri kwa Biti, mbobva manzi wanda Makamu enda kuseri kwa Makamu, vanhu kuti vachienda kwavanoda, mapedza monzi right, imimi terisai uku, ngativerengei 1 2 3 vaBiti vaita 254 vanhu, toverenga vaMakamu 1 2 3 vaita 228. Apana spoiled vote, apana chi magutsikana mesere candidate sign up. That is what we call pure democracy. I don't know kuti vari kuchemei vana mukoma hopo chimono with such type of open and clear democracy, free and fair. I don't know what vari kuchemei. As diaspora are playing vital role. Saka vanhu vari kuZimbabwe, they don't understand the role that we play as diaspora. What I think it is going to be vice president. He is already vice president, Mr. Nak. Tikawina anongoramba ari vice president. The very democracy which Tsvangirai tried and failed is now a true for Chamisa, and he is on the right track. Chamisa is right on the right track. As Namgoma Kudzano, the social contract. That is a social contract. Well done, my brother. Because munongonzi vari kuda Biti enda kuseri kwake, vari kuda Makamu enda kuseri kwake, tarisanai chiverengai, uya nevanhu vangani kuseri kwake uyoverenga, ko uya nevangani kuseri kwake uyoverenga, magutsikana mese hapana anenge achichema. Saina apa candidate, saina apa yo candidate. Petty P Douglas mama makadi kudaidza amai nezita ini charohwa inini chete hazvina basa ndo vakandiyamwisa andimona. Saka what we are saying is that is pure democracy. I don't know people who are complaining. Takamboshandisa ballot paper, secret ballot paper. Vanhu vakariga vanhu vachiisa max vachiriga tikati hazvishande zvamuri kuita izvi. Hanzi miraone spark nyika yadigwa shuga haine shuga nyika, taura yenyu mukoma chichi. Takataura hazvishande zvamuri kutaura. Atete Sylvia Lorraine Parsons atete maswera sei. And welcome to the program. So what I'm saying is, the political strategy that President Chamisa has used is a standout political program. This ensures pure democracy in a country. I don't know people who are complaining. Vanhu vajaira kuona ma-elections vachiriga, mapepa achibvarwa vachichonyewa vachiiswa muhomwe. I still remember patakaita daukutaurirai. Kana ari panapa Edika Makuni. Kana ari panapa anonzi Makuni Edika. One of the district chairpersons mu United Kingdom muno. Takaenda kuLeeds kuno electa a provincial executive MDC. Right, tapinda muLeeds paya. Inini vanhu vakanditi Shepherd contestant, ndikati no, I don't want to contest. I didn't want to contest because ndakandine ma-commitments, ndaenda kuinvest, I had a lot of commitments. And Hopo is just being a baby cry. So what will happen next? What will happen next? Akutoenda kuno akawina ndiye ari kuenda kunoregister. Saka ndakaramba kucontesta in a position mu UK, very good presentation this one. Thank you, sweetheart, thank you so much. Ndakaramba kucontesta inini, vanhu vakanditi contesta ndikati no, I don't want to contest. Ndakaramba. Saka takaenda election yakaitwa munomu. Secret ballot yayi. Ndakazonzwa samanyanga kuti vanhu vangu vapinda. Paiuya mapepa akaunyaniswa achikandwa memo achiverengwa. Zvakanyatsoona kuti this is not a proper election, a democracy. This is not the political party that we want. Edika Makuna akandaapproacha ini akachema. Akanai mukoma Shepherd Yuda. Ndo zvamaiita here kuZimbabwe izvi? Ndo election yamaiita here iyi? because this is not democracy. MDC hakuna kwairi kuenda. Ndikamuti dzikama mangwana ndiwo change wakuriga kudai. But now kana tikanzi ngatiendei futi kunochuza chairman, kunochuza chi veprovince, tikatamba iyo yekuti enda kuseri kwemunhu ona hakuna kapepa kamwe kakaunyaniswa kanzi ngakaverengwa hakuna. That is pure democracy. Hanzi ambiguity yakarohwa apa, I loved it. Kiki vana muliswa vakarohwa nezveusiku. Hanzi handizive candidate yaari kukwidzana naye pakaipa. Nero chibaba chiya kanzwa achiti God is in it, he is really in it. Saka ndakaudza Makuni ndikati Makuni, izvi zvamofuka kuti secret ballot paper voting zvazvishandi, zvinorigika. Izvozvi ngatiendei munyika muti munangagwamira apa chamisamira apa. Nyika yese huyai tipinde muNational Sports Stadium tiri 15 million. Wanda chamisa endaiko, wanda munangagwa endaiko. Awane spoiled paper, munangagwa akawana kana 500,000 wanu ilaki. Aditi maona thanks ngoma mtetwa bafana ilaki igorere shanduko, thanks yellow lady. So what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is this political strategy is the purest democracy you can find anywhere in the world, and it has been implemented by Nelson Chamisa, first of its kind. Not even any other country has done it. And to be honest, citizens are happy, especially in my book, Tafara and wider new candidate. Remember, Scott is giving out money and groceries. Yes, McDonald. Ndakaenda ndikataura about Scott. Ndikati, arikunzi arikuhaya mabhazi mahara achiti vanokwira muchienda mahara kutaura nekudzoka. This is not the environment that Zimbabweans want. This is not the political environment or a social or economic environment that Zimbabweans want. Owners of buses, they want you to pay fare. They don't want you to board their buses for free. And so we need a government. This is why ndakataura Scott hafana kuwina mabvuku. Because to the government, you know, create an environment where you can be able to meet your fare. Pay your own fare. Go to town and come back. Unokwira bus mahara uenda mtown muHarare kunoitei kutown kwacho kuna mabasa ushande. Unoswera uchimbeya mtown uchichakwira futi manherere kudzoka kumba. Unonodyei. It doesn't make sense. You understand? We want a government that create an environment where business will come in and invest. So that ukakwira bhazi iwe uchienda kutown une mari yako, urukwira bhazi kuenda kubasa, wodzoka manheru opinda mbamako. That's the environment that we want. Atidi environment yekuti member of parliament anouya kuti mabhazi emahara. Mabhazi emahara kana ari hurumende ari ZUPCO, of course. Muno marimo muno mashato atokwira mahara. Ukataimira nguva dzakati panopfura bhazi remahara otokwira uenda. Andiri maona. Zvinhu zvemahara zvinobvisa chiremera. Yeah, zvinoita kuti maZimbabweans tirambe tichisekwa nedzimwe nyika. Kuti these people are like fish. Ukanovamwaira matemba vanongoshama, ukavamwaira masese vanoshama vachingodya, ukakanda chirauro unongochibata uchivaraura. Vanhu vari kuraurwa vachikandurwa masefa vachiraurwa, they are useless people. Hachangamukai mhani vana veZimbabwe kwete kukwira bhazi mahara. No, we want that bus. That's 4 hours vakamirira zupco remahara. Yeah, it doesn't work. Because for 4 hours vakamirira zupco remahara racho zvauroda kuita zvakamira. Because we do things in time. A day has got only 24 hours. If you spend 4 hours wakamirira bhazi raScott remahara, then wasarwa nema hours mangane utoita business mtown. Hapana. Uchaita dzimwe 4 hours wakamira, so 8 hours dzako ndedzebhazi. 12 hours dzodzo vanofanira kuita basa. But haukwanisi kushanda 12 hours dzacho dzese. You understand? So people of Zimbabwe must wake up. Hamusi hove dzinokandurwa masefa, chakukandurwa chirauro manje makandurwa masefa muchiraurwa muchiburitswa zvonzi ndewangu. No. That is, we don't want that political environment. We don't want that social type of environment. No. And so what I'm telling Zimbabweans is, if you are an aspiring member of parliament, you want to be a member of parliament, your goals must be measurable. Inini understand chete environment yauri kuoparata uri. Zvakafanana in constituency inonzi mabvuku yayi. Musaka ndaudza kuti aife yakaita member of parliament anoti akasvika nhasi, next time anodzoserwa. Because i-constituency yakazara marovha. Ukamuka kuseni unenge uchidhuma rovha, kwakanda dombo unodhuma unotema rovha. Vanhu ivo vanenge vachirelaya vada MP kuti vauye vazovaitira zvakati, vauye vazovaitira zvakati. Andiri mona. Saka vanenge vachiona MP sesource of livelihood. Saka ndiri kutaurira kuti now it's time yekuti taakuenda kuelection. Kana wadyiwa apa, wadyiwa. You must understand what are the current activities. What are the current members of candidates who have won? What results were we expecting? And what are we looking at? What type of results did we get? Are these the results that we want? People must cry about Biti because he is not out of 𝗕𝗵𝗃. There is a lot of positions that he can occupy. Definitely, there are quite a lot. Inini zvangu ngoma tanaka, I am saying, considering effectiveness, Yatenda in parliament, I would rather love him to be in parliament. But the grassroots yake haisi Chitungiza mdara tarusenga, tati bone, pakanaka, thanks so much. Oh, people must not cry. Oh, thank you so much. And grassroots yake tendai, do isiri kumuda. Isusu tukumuda because we know how he does when he is in parliament. Is it true, brother? Ndicho chokwadi. Is it true? Andili murugona. So you see that the current activities in 𝗕𝗵𝗃, vamwe kuti they will divide the party, vamwe kuti party cha dividika. Ukaona whoever is going to divide the party, ndo vangaitaura na president chamisa kuti aiwaka. Uda kunobaiwewa, hausuda kuenda kunoshandira vanhu. Because kana vanhu vakuti iwo hatisi kukuda, hazviroti vanhu vakude zvachose, imboenda pasaidi. Go unoshanda nevanhu. Batsira vanhu. Handosaka ichinzi competition. You either win or lose, yes. You don't expect to win always or every time. I didn't want. So, I think I my phases in politics. We go into phases. Remember, Nalichaura Panam. Kutafazwa Musekiwa is the youngest ever member of parliament in Zimbabwe history. Elected. Vano aimbodi Joyce Mjuru, no, I saw them Mjuru, is Tafazwa Musekiwa. And Zimala Mshaba, Arubika, Kunigri ku kitchen. Maalamze muno mukakangota ka misti chene yoto chema. Ko on Wednesday mukazoona ari Biti ari ye-MP asarudzwa, just wait Wednesday. Yes, we don't have a problem baba flow. Problem iru grassroots. Kuti mimi kana mati ari Biti akasarudzwa, ma results kaya they were done openly. Kana mukati ndibiti akasarudzwa wamaisa iyeye, we are likely to lose the constituency. Itai zvido zvevanhu. Musati moda kuita zvido zvevanhu mozodzoka mutaura kuti zvakataura navanhu hatizvidi. But those people who said Biti adyiwa hatisi kumuda, they are the same people who vachazopinda futi mukunovhota futi. Saka mukaenda against those people noti muri leadership, mauraya party. Munenge mauraya party. Inini personally, if I am asked na president kuti waunoda pakati pamakamu na Biti kuti apinde ade MP ndiani, indotaura tendai. Because I know how effective he is in parliament. Hanzi vanhu havagoni here oro kunzwa chamisa achitaura. Unotonzwa kuti pakutaura president kwete dharare. Nyoni, nyona vana vatoraya. Sandiura here kuseka. Naisana mboseka zuva ranhasi nai. Anditi maona. Saka ndiri kutaura inini kuti my opinion, if I am asked by president today, Mr. Yuda, wamuri kudati apinde muparliament ndiani? Ini ndotaura kuti president ndakashida Biti kuti apinde muparliament. But inini Shepherd ndikuda Biti. Ndo zviri kuda grassroots here. Because inini kana ndaimpoza Biti, ko grassroots ichaita sei? Kana iri ndiyo yakamuramba pekutanga, it's not going to vote him. Vanongomuramba futi. Moita sei? Andimona, toruza uswa uri pamuromo. Bozi uri mudumbu tofana hoka. Uyu uri pamuromo hatisata humedza. Togona kuruza. Saka hatifana kuruza nechinhu chatoziva kuti ichi chotiruzisa ichi. Hanzi mukoma ko proportionate representative. Yes, we have got proportionate representative as well. He can still come back to parliament. This is a diplomatic expakayipa. aiwa pari hoti ipapo handini muri kuona. So these are phases, ladies and gentlemen, that we go through. Ndakataurira vamwe vanhu mugrupu ndikati pese pataiisa macandidates 2000 paipai pane here aimboziva Biti kuti ari how effective in parliament. We just discovered it when he went there kuti ai chidomoro ichi. Pane aimboziva here kuti mupana wangu uyu mwana wangu anonzi Mateu uyu mupana wekumarondera ari so effective in parliament. We only saw when he went in parliament. Saka sometimes tinogona kurambira vamwe vanhu tichiti aite iye ari more than Biti, iye ari more than Mateo. Because potential yemunhu inozooneka kana exposed to the environment. Hanzi vanhu vakaziva zvinoreva tripusi chete zvatopera. It is a citizen thing, exactly. So we cannot deny what citizens want. If we go against the voters, the electorate, the citizens, hatina zvatiri kuita. Ndati in 2000, when Biti was defeated by Mbao, there was a consensus where to go on a round table, explain certain things. Zvandanga ndisingazive zvandakatodzidziswa naPresident Tsvangirai. Zvandanga ndisingazive vakatonidzisawo President musi iwoyo. Ndikazovhurika pfungwa ndikaona kuti right. This is why President vauti ngatisei Tendai ndiye anofanira kupinda. No reason yacho iyi. Tikaenda naTendai back to the people. We had to persuade vanhu vaida Mbao because Mbao was charismatic. Chaiti chikamira apa chimundau chimashamanyika chaya chikatanga kutaura soka vanhu maitanga muri kuona ndabaningistola ari kutaura. And President Chamisa wari open. He said kana ini musingadide ndibvisei. He is so open because he knows this is for the people. Saka hanzi Biti ane manyaya dzake. It's not about nyaya mkoma titles. Not about nyaya. It's not about nyaya. It's about the grassroots. Ndapedza ndakutaurirai panapa zvese. It's about the grassroots. If you Tendai ukaenda kukoti hapana judge asingazive Biti. Majaji vanomutya Tendai uyawo. Ndakaenda naye nini panyaya yangu taenda mumachambers majustice 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 against prison. Changosvika chikangokuma 2-3 words so. Ndakaona 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 akatopenzura pasi. Akubvunza lawyer wekuprison kuti what's your comment? Zvikanzi ano indangonzi enda now I didn't prepare anything. Zvikanzi Biti's application granted. Ariite zimufesiri arotyisa. Majaji vanomubata, majaji vanomuziva. Andimona. Machambers majustice 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃. Ndakaenda Tendai akanditi hande shepherd tikanopinda tikagara pasi. Angokuma 3-4 words chete achitaura achibvunza mugadhijeri achibvunza lawyer reprison kuti waingei. Une pepa here handina. Judge akati we are wasting my time. Vakatora peni akati order granted Mr. Tendai Biti endai. So, achatopedza Tendai. You understand? I know how effective he is as a solicitor. How effective he is in parliament. But the social and the political environment, the grassroots, he doesn't understand it. Ndokune nyaya. Atichakwa vanhu vaigara tikada kuvaconvinsa. Because 2000 ndakaenda inini. Nai ndikabata mic ndikaimba ndobva ndavaconvinsa vanhu. Vanobva vasingwawo teibi taimba. Tindo. Usati kanganwe kana wava muparliament. Usati kanganwe tindo. Usati kanganwe kana wava muparliament. Usati kanganwe tindo. Ndo maimbira andaita. Nai ndikasvika Tendai chaifane kuseka ndikasvika ndikabata mic soke kutanga ndiri organizer. Ndisatatanga kutaura. Ndaibva ndati tindo. Ndoisa mic kuvanhu vobva kuti usati kanganwe kana wava muparliament. Usati kanganwe tindo. Usati kanganwe kana wava muparliament. Usati kanganwe. That is the grassroots. Zvavaiimba izvozvo, it's very important. Honorable kana maa muparliament, don't forget about us. Come back to us. Sangana neni murodhi nditengerewo sweet. Andimona. Saka manje ndataura kuti I don't want to go deeper into exactly things that were aziko mudhara uyu murungu uyu anonyatsoita nezvei ndatanga kumuziva nhasi. Makamu idhara aiwa zidhara rara vakuru vaiva. And kana parliament macho is very effective.
Look at this. This is from Saka today.
Saka?
Yeah, for Arsenal.
Playing against
North Macedonia.
Oh, that boy. Anditi maona nyaya ndikutaura mukoma sei muringa zviri sei. Saka guys, inyaya yatiri kutaura iyoyo kuti you guys must understand. Honorable Biti is not daft. He really understands it. He really understands the dynamics of politics. But he also needs to understand how to win these primary elections. TB does not have the grassroots, but history is strong. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Hanzi Agaramba 4,000. Makam, a lot of our members of parliament fell as well because vakapuwa 40 grand. Saka urikona vakapuwa 40 grand aya vakamatora. Vanhu constituency vachadyawo kana MP wedu apuwa 40 grand. They never went there. No another impact. Chapa kuti vanhu vazhinji vadone futi icho cheche musachitarisira pasi chiya. Chinyaya icho cheche musachitarisira pasi. Andimona. Saka a first question ya member of parliament is how am I going to win these primary elections? And how am I going to win these harmonized elections? Our aim is to win a constituency, not to win primary elections. But the Panakupe, I send ZANU-PF at work. Panakupe Maizo, remember last time when I did a live presentation here, I was talking about Thokozani Kupe. I was comparing Thokozani Kupe and Komish Baba Abrahama. Thokozani Kupe, from the word go, even Mdara Changira Iwa Vapenyu, Thokozani Kupe akati izvandi zvidi. And she became principled. Zvakaramba, she stood by that. Akaita chimbwa mupengo, akaita sei, vanhu vatikamutuka Thokozani, tikamuti hure, chichi, zvese zvazvi. She stood by what she believed in. She went on to endorse Mnangagwa winner, this and that. Because that's what she was believing in. She did not hide from us. She doesn't like us. You dead thrown at us from Chikuru. Elections destruction. A dead goat thrown at us. Alright. Saka nyaya tukutaura ndeyekuti. Thokozani Kupe stood by what she believes. She believed ED won that election. She believed that she didn't want MDC alliance. She wanted MDC to stand on its own as MDCT. She had differences with the Honorable 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃. Those were personal differences that had nothing to do with the politics. But the most dangerous politician in Zimbabwe, in the history of Zimbabwe politics, haasinyati yokuzanu kuzotora yokuzoenda kunobomba kuchimoyo. That one became open. I don't like Zanu akanobomba. Tina Baba Abrahama, who was President Nelson Chamisa's election agent. Being an election agent or president, he came out open that he was a spy all along when we trusted him with the life of the president, with the election of the president. And he came back to you and say, I don't like that young man. I was a spy. I was spying on him all along. So that type of a politician is a very dangerous politician. He will spy without you knowing. The people of Zimbabwe put their trust in 𝗕𝗿, who later came out and said he was spying on the young men all along. When he was in Gweru, when 𝗕𝗿 was defeated, he said he will never leave President Nelson Chamisa. And we didn't know that he was saying that so that he can have access to the man and spy on him. I don't think the people of Zimbabwe, they would want 𝗕𝗿. I don't think so. They would rather accept 𝗕𝗿 than 𝗕𝗿. Because 𝗕𝗿 was open from the word go. Tsvangirai tried to call him Mbuya. We had to get a pass to Gazra Alliance. I got around Uyeko. When I shake him, Koi, Wakaenda, Wakano, love more, Moya, Ramashona, Delela. When I shake him, Koi, Gogos, was some sort of Garoas, and I shake him. Zvikadzoka kuna mudhara tsvangirai zvichichema zvakazvimba zvimwe zvabaiwa zvarova kumatebhelele kuprovince. Mavideos acho aripo makamaona. Kupe kachidaidzira kuti I'm the elected vice president. Handiudze zvekuita. I know. She was clear on that. She was open on that. She never hide from us her feelings, her emotions. But imagine Tatina Morgan 𝗕𝗿, our election agent, your president. Taiwatina Douglas Monzor, our secretary general of the party. Takwenda kukoti, Monzora ndima muri secretary general. Tione iwoka. Ma V11 tende kukoti. Akazobuda kuti haiwa tatisina ma V11. He never even bothered to make sure that ma V11 for the court challenge aripo. Vanga vatobhadharwa kudhara vanhu vaiva. Taione vatengesi vatakafamba nawo vakaita kuti election ya 2018 iende in shambles. After that, Monzora na 𝗕𝗿, they went on to recall elected members of parliament. Dzinga kupwanya kuti ZANU-PF ingwesa zvimutemo zvayo zvaakuti dzvanyirira nhasi. As mark my words, my brother, Mudzure and 𝗕𝗿 will come back. It's an uphill task for 𝗕𝗿, I am telling you. It's not gonna be easy. Not gonna be easy at all. Because no one trusts 𝗕𝗿 anymore. Mudzure achingotaure zvachinenge chichingoenda ngegwite. But 𝗕𝗿, no. 𝗕𝗿, no. This is why I'm saying the people of Zimbabwe said they would rather accept Thokozani Kupe than 𝗕𝗿. And so the first question that a member of parliament or a candidate must ask himself is, why am I contesting? This is where we are losing it. No one will accept him. He is the most dangerous politician, I'm telling you, who spied on his candidate whilst he was an election agent. He was helping his candidate to lose the election. His candidate was being rigged without him challenging. Everything that happened, he knew it. And he came open and said, all along I was spying on this young man. Then people would want to trust such type of a person. Never, ever. Never, ever. I don't know how good his doors are locked. They are really locked. This is why you see people are saying we better accept Thokozani Kupe's candidates than 𝗕𝗿. We don't want to see 𝗕𝗿 anymore. 𝗕𝗿 munhu wekuti kana pakanzi panapa pangomuka musindo. Vanhu vari kurovana panapa. Vanhu vanenge vachirovana marivals vanetsana vaya vanombodiwa ngatimbomira kurovana. Ngatimborova 𝗕𝗿. 𝗕𝗿 akadzokera kuzana. Akadzokera kuzanu yavo. Batai mashoko andataura panapa. Pamastructure vakanyura. Batai mashoko andataura. Ndati inini naKudzi Arnold. Ngoma Kudzi Arnold. Tanetsana tatorerana baby. Tiri kurovana panapa. Zvibhagera king. Ndomboti Kudzi chake chematsenganzi ngombodona. Omuka unditi changu inini ndombodona. But 𝗕𝗿 akangosvika ndoti Kudzi una 𝗕𝗿. Totombomira inini naKudzi kurovana. Toti ngatimborova 𝗕𝗿 first. Totorova 𝗕𝗿. Azodzora akazorova mazero. Mazero ndo akazomupedza. Saka ndiri kuti inini tinenge takakonana namukoma Kudzi. Takonana zvisingaiti. Torovana vanhu vachiti rogai zvirovane. Zvipedzerane. but komichi akasvika ipapo tinotombomira kurovana totati iwe kudzineni ngatichaye komichi tototanga tochaya komichi. Saka munhu wekuti kana akasvika imbwa dzichirumana dzinotombomira kurumana dzomuruma. Mark my words. Komichi akasvika imbwa dzichirovana dzichirumana adzinomira dzoruma iye komichi. Andimona. People of Zimbabwe, we are just playing around with these selfish people. Hey. No joke. Saka ndikutaura inini kuti munhu akanasa komichi yayo imbwa dzichirumana panapa rumana uza imbwa dzorumana komichi akasvika dzomira dzotaura kuti let's bite komichi naye taka anotakwa komichi. Saka he's not a reliable politician. We cannot allow him to come and do this. Pipi zviri same komabhono zviri kufamba MDC will be buried alive. Ndokupera kwazvo. Komichi has allowed the demise of MDC. Monzora has allowed the demise of MDC. So we cannot allow the demise of 𝗕𝗵𝗃, no. And the more. So this is the first question every contestant or candidate must ask himself. Why am I contesting? This is what my brother 𝗕𝗿 should have asked himself. Why am I contesting in 2000? All along, ndataura ndikati Biti 𝗕𝗿. In his entire political life as a member of parliament, akapinda just 2 my elections, my primary elections, ya 2000 iyoyi. He lost all of them. He lost both. Is here. As I heard Monzora is here in England. What is he doing? I forgot about Aganomuona, as Boashapiro, as Zarabogi, the sport, Vanoruma. Could be all of us. I want to Botaganurana. Can I go locked? Vachirumana Zagaipa. Want to Botaganurana. I want to get Moruma Komich. Komich, no rumor. And did one. So I'm saying, guys, could contesting in primary and contesting in the final election, it's not a joke. About a totally honest answer, guys, to that question. A good ask yourself, why am I contesting? Your core philosophy or your core political campaign. Because 𝗕𝗿 shot himself on the foot. Video yakabuda iya 𝗕𝗿 achitaura takuona vasina mabvi. That was an error, a very big error. Kuti inyoka iri kupinda muconstituency panyaya musoro. MP wenyu munomuziva ndiani? Ndibiti. Kansela wenyu ndiani? Ndinhingi. Kansela wacho akabva adyiwa. MP wacho akabva adyiwa. He made an error. That one is an error. I even tried to call him, Biti. He never picked my phone. I sent him messages. He never answered my messages. And accepting comedies like Tanaka. I am saying, Tanaka, people are saying they better accept Kupe Thokozani than Komichi. Because you cannot continue to accept a spy who has spied on his candidate. Imagine. Ndiri Harare East angari election agent wabiti ainzi 𝗕𝗵𝗃. Chiimagine 𝗕𝗵𝗃 achitengesa masecrets, achitengesa mavotes achibita ari kubirwa panapa. 𝗕𝗵𝗃 akatarisa orega kuudza candidate yake. Hakuna munhu anoroya kupfura ipapo. So people are saying let's accept Thokozani Kupe kana electoral country. But Komichi never. Baba Abrahama political career yaka vakatambwa utsotsi naMonzora. Political career yawo ikabva yapara. As Kupe ikadzi, then Komichi ibonga. Definitely. Kupe is domiciled. Komichi is world. His world. So, Saka, what we are saying, guys, is when you are going into such an election, whether it's a primary election or it's a final election, 𝗕𝗵𝗃 now needs serious contenders. That's why I'm going to tell you We need serious contenders. We need those serious contenders to enter the election fray. Shapiro, only way vote for change. Exactly. We want serious contenders. And these contenders, they go for election. Because at Sukuda, one was serious. And the serious consensus, why we want serious contenders to go into the parliament, is we are going to fight corruption. We want to fight corruption. We want to fight lack of law in our country. We don't have laws. There is no law and order in our country. As spying good unotongerwa rufu. Yes. Unoziva zvekutaurwa namukoma tinotenda Ishe Nyoni. Dai 𝗕𝗵𝗃 in a military wing operating in Zimbabwe today, 𝗕𝗵𝗃-𝗨𝗃 should have been shot dead. I'm telling you. Uganda, read the history of ZANU-PF. When they were fighting for the liberation of Zimbabwe, varunana Zambia na Mozambique. Vanhu vaichererwa gomba, vanhu vakaita sakomicho ukanda obva vapfurirwa ngomba vofusira. Kune makuva evanhu vasina kudzoka vafusirwa vaipfurwa nemazanila vachiurayiwa. Andiona utengesi, kuspire, it's a death sentence. ZANU-PF ya nguva dzehondo vaishandisa inonzi we return you home. Ndozvavaita. When they want to kill you, it was a code name yao. They were not writing kuti hanzi tichakuuraya will kill you zvatutaura. Vanotaura kuti tokudzosera kumusha. We'll send you home. When they say they will send you home, that's it, you go. Ukaenda kuChina, Nkomakudzi, it's death sentence. Ukaenda kuRussia, it's death sentence. They don't like that nonsense. Kuti unomira pachita chevanhu. People pinned their hopes on Komichi, pinned their hopes on President Chamisa. Then Komichi omira muharvest house mevakabata mic achitaura kuti I was a spy all along, spying on that young man. That means you destroyed the hopes of 15 million people. I was saying a mistake by a politician affects 15 million people. A mistake by a doctor affects 1%. Mistake that Komichi made in 2018, it made the whole country suffer. It made us to starve. Today, $1 is in 15,000 RTGs because of Komichi. If Komichi had allowed Chamisa to win a 2018 election without him spying on the candidate, by now we got to gauge. $1 is equivalent to $1, 1 RTGs. And more. Saga, we want serious contenders in parliament. We want people who assist us to fight corruption in government, to fight lack of law and order. We want people who talk about industrial prosperity in our country. We know there might be economic recession, but there are ways to deal with the recession. We want those MPs very knowledgeable in that. Correction. And in more. We want people who are knowledgeable in that. And we also need candidates who understand their community. I must be around my people. Every time, everything that I do, the decision that I make must involve those people who voted me. So if any candidate decides to fight on this election, then the purpose must be to win. If any candidate decide to fight in this election, the purpose of this election is for 𝗕𝗵𝗃 to win. Your personal egos, set them aside. We don't want personal egos. President Chamisa tukana waramba the will of the people. That means you are aiming to go back parliament, loot our government, represent our one. Because our purpose, our aim is to win this election. Any lesser go, stay home. We don't want you. Because some people, they see kuvoterwa vachitaura kuti this is a way, an easiest way into parliament, an easiest way into looting. Stay home, we don't want you. That is, stop saying ZANU-PF fight white organization. Announce this is correction, under this stop saying ZANU-PF fight white organization. And rounds with some Goma Tanaka, Dean. I didn't understand that. Type, you know, Jadona so wearing out one, I understand that. So you see, any lesser goal than to win election, we don't want those people. The good in can understand elect when in with a member of parliament in parliament, constituency. One Wagadaro, we don't want them. And if you identify such type of people, never allow them near any political decision in future. Because we are going to lose money. We are going to pump out a lot of US dollars in cash to register our members of parliament. Biti, then 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 is back for presidential position. Ndozvandikutaura mukoma Gerald. Kuti we want serious contenders in parliament. Zvekupanduka kana akapanduka, it's all up to him. I don't think Tendai now is a person who want to form PDP again. See what problem that PDP caused when he was recalled from parliament. And when he came back, Tendai Biti was recalled twice from parliament. First by President Tsvangirai, and the second by PDP. I don't think Tendai would want to continue on that path. That is not a health path in terms of politics. Tendai munu akagadzira zita, and I don't think he would want to destroy his reputation. Remember, PDP destroyed his reputation, and he rebuilt it and gained confidence with the people. So I don't think the confidence that Tendai has built now with the people, you would want to waste it away. No, I don't think so. Because wasting that confidence, it's better to lose money than to lose reputation, to lose your dignity. I don't think Tendai would even stand as an independent candidate, is what is being suggested in ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF are suggesting, they are giving a leading suggestion that Tendai is going to stand as independent candidate. I don't think Tendai would do that. 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, remember Mkoma Gerald, ndakaita live here, the whole, I spent 3 hours talking about 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, talking about the history, 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, his violent past, and coming back to you. Ndakamutaura 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 kati andimuka ndakagara panapa takatiza 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃. Vanhu vese vari diaspora, 90% emadiaspora, they ran away from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃. He was running the border gates as a youth as a youth minister. He was burning people's houses. He was abducting people with the militias, killing people. And today he comes to you, I want to be president of Zimbabwe. Then people would vote for him. He must forget. I dedicated 3 hours talking about 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, remember. You can visit that presentation. You can revisit the presentation. I dedicated 3 hours talking about 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃. And on. So what I'm saying is, any lesser intention or goal, please don't contest. What we want are serious contenders. Because we are going to lose money to register you as member of parliament. As I've stated here, Biti wouldn't want to lose his credibility. He doesn't want to lose his reputation. Because he knows if he stands today as an independent candidate, he will lose credibility. He will lose reputation. Everything that he contributed to Zimbabwe will go naughty. And people will lose trust with him forever. He made the mistake before. You cannot make the same mistake twice. I don't think he will do that. And because now, as I'm stating, is he cannot make same mistake twice. Because he should ask himself, why should the voters trust him? If the people say no, in a primary election? And why do he think that people would trust him in a general election? That doesn't work. Because it depends on how much do these people know about you. Now people knows a lot about Biti. He won in 2000 as a member of parliament for Harare East. He was recalled by Tsvangirai. He formed the PDP party. And he saw sense to say, look, we can't split vote. He came back to Morgan and worked with Tsvangirai. The PDP came back to hound him and recalled him from parliament as well. So that journey has got some bumps and humps in it, which I don't think Biti would want the same thing to happen again. And on. Because at this juncture, when he's home, reflecting, introspecting, he is thinking now, how much do the people know about me? How much? And why should these voters trust me? If I go as an independent candidate, what is the campaign? How am I going to campaign so that these people win my trust? You understand? Because there is a political outlook already that has been put forward. Already the impact, that impacts on him as well. If he has to come back, could as an independent candidate, that will impact on him, impact on his candidates. And more. Because it depends on how much information has been shared by the people. And the constituents already know that the gentleman has lost that constituency. So I don't expect him to come back and say, I'm an independent, Panduga, this and that. It doesn't work for him. He will still lose the constituency. And once he loses that constituency, the credibility is gone. The reputation is gone. People will never accept you again in politics. Don't make the same mistake twice. As goes right on Mulisa, don't listen to Muliswa. Don't listen to Muliswa. Don't listen to Muliswa. Never listen to Muliswa. Because Muliswa has never conveyed any benefit in politics. He's just a violent thug who was busy beating people in Mashonaland. And the chairman of Mashonaland. My brother, be very careful for what you say. These selfish politicians, they can use your words and report you to the authorities. History. Oh, no. Which authorities? This is I'm not sure which authorities here. But what we are saying now is very important. Very, very important. We are saying very important things in our politics. And more. Inini, ndakakomborwa na Mwari. I don't hide my feelings towards anyone. I'm open. I say anything I want. I'm open. And more. Saka, because nyaya upon the advantage, we are using this technology. Kudara taishanisa staff, volunteers and so forth. Now taishanisa technology to reach any person, anywhere we want. We are different from foot soldiers. We've got foot soldiers back home, people campaigning for these members of parliament and so forth. Standing in corners, street corners. He has been in this game for too long, like what they did to Chinyanga. Maizo, my brother, I really know. These people, before they reported Chinyanga, the first person they reported was 𝗕𝗵𝗃. And I've got the information. And they are still looking for errors to say we are going to report him to the authorities. But the good part, my brother, is I am not someone who is scared of that. I went through a lot already. Already I'm a dead man walking. Even if they pick me up, put me in prison, I'm not worried. I've been in prison for so many times. I've been tortured. Vanokusunga unyorera mapepa nezvaunenge wavataurira. It's what you tell them, what you say to them, and what you have said in a video is evidence. Saka musandityira mukoma maizo, musanyanya kundityira maningi, musanyanya kundityira maningi. They have reported me more than necessary. Ndogara chitaurira vanhu munomunyika munomu ndakasungwa nekunzanzi wakaba phone theft phone chaiyo, ndikasungwa nekunzanzi you raped someone. Iri ZANU-PF zvakazobuda zvega pachena kuti ZANU yakanga hanzi ndichazoita presentation one day. I want you to understand this. Tikatya kutaura hatina zvatinenge tichiita. Kana ndichitaura ndikataura mhosva ngavauye vandisunge kana ndataura mhosva. Indogara chitaurira vanhu kuti the way I was born, the way I was brought to this world, it's different from the way some people were brought and some people were entered this world. And I think I entered this world ndiri murombo udaro Mwari ndobva vanditi go and fight for the people. Saka don't worry my brother, whatever I say here, if it is a criminal offense, let them go and report. Ndakapiwa chiboko nezani ndakapushira ndakatopushirwa ndopandakazochudza ndikati kana ukatuma chidhoma ndomitisa. Sorry guys, sorry, that might spoil our good presentation. Atete masi zviri sei gomana zviri kufamba here masi anoona. Saka asikaona masi madondo masi, she knows me in and out, and ina handinyanyo. If I say something that is a criminal offense, let them report me, let the police come, let them arrest me. Taisungwa kokuti waisvika uchirohwa, auna rohwa kokutamba kwekwe, tairohwa. Ndogara chitaura vanhu kuti maroverwo atakaitaka dai tairoverwa pavanhu pachena, hapana munhu aizoita politics futi. Tanaka dai tairoverwa pavanhu maroverwo ataita, hapana aimboita politics. Kana pana pangadai pasina kana one munhu ari kuteerera chitaura, uchiziva ndikabatwa maroverwo andichaita akaoma. Handiti vaona. Thanks mazi. Saka inini kungotaura zvedu panapa. Whatever I say here, if it is a criminal offense, let them arrest me. I don't care. That's the thing that I know. I don't care. Anyway, let's continue. Let's talk about foot soldiers back home. The campaign staff, right now, we are going into an election. We need our campaign staff to be visible on the ground. They must stand in every corner, because we can't afford to lose this election. And we need to distribute our campaign materials, my brochures. We need to call voters. Let's talk to our relatives, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk to our relatives. Let's give them calls. Let's do my family concourses. Guys, ndo hurumende yamuri kuda here, ndo nyika yamuri kuda here, ndo ZANU-PF yamuri kuda here. Kana mtikwanisa kuhosta machat meetings family, let's do it. This election is crucial. Ma candidates edu ataka selector. Let's tell them, let's encourage them. Be visible to the people. Adapuwa information mkoma about my soldier. Idimboko, haimboko jaja. Unokanda tanaka ku inbox, aiwa, tunoida information here. And now taabo kutane social media. For social media, Edu, what do we need to do? Let's do my blogs. Let's go my forums. Ukaenda pa Twitter, mugwada ma accounts anokwana 100. Akanyora twana itaidza mara, twana tumadhara, twana makoni. Akanonza aninga mudhara kasimba makoni. Mwacho ana tsvangira enzani uyu mwana mudhara muningiro tsvangira yo. Vaka create a lot of fake Twitter accounts. Vanenge vachingonyora ma forums imomo. Saka isusu tikarega kuenda ikoko kunova disrupta kunyorawo hatina zvatiri kuita. Unonzwa munhu aiti fake i-ghost account. I-ghost account, but what's important is the rumors that ghost account is spewing must be countered. Iwewo kana uchikwanisa vhurawo 50 maghost account, iye achinyora ne100 unyora ne100, achinyora rubbish unyora nerubishiwo. Andimona. So let's go for it. Time yatakuenda varakashika vakatumwa kuzotirakasha, isu ngatirakashewo back. Andimona. Live on Facebook aya ngawanda. Vanhu vachita noise uyo achiti yo kuno. Boss mukada kutarisa vana Ruramaika kamwana kainzi Ruramaika ika. Ndakaka eliminate pa live. Kaiti kakauya kakuda kuti you tachichi ndakati ngomwa. Ngokati ngomwa chete kaichema. Ndandimona. Kusvika katiza kakuenda kutwitter kwao kanenge kasingaonekwe. Kanenge kachingobhuya vachibhuya. Saka isusu let's utilize whatever platform that we have for this election so that we reach millions of people so that we go into an election. Ndisa ndamhanyira kuda kunopedza kwandava kusvika uko. Ndira kutaura nyaya yekuti some of the things that we do, we must understand our community, the community we live in, the political environment and the social environment. A lot of people vari kutarisa kuti vana Shepherd ava ndo vaifambana natondera indira. So mukanya zviri sei? Nkomarichi zviri kufamba here? Blessing Jones zviri kufamba here? Ndovakomana vanhu kutaurira vana jara vana Mukomarichi kuti this taifamba natondera indira. His grave was vandalized, and that's very true. This election I see at least a chance for the future. Yes. Saka ndisaifamba natondera indira. Ndisaive close ake, and our comrade was abducted and murdered by ZANU-PF. His grave was thanks Mkoma City night ndaimorara hanzi mushi wangu right akuri right kunoku mkanya kuri right. Saka his grave was vandalized and his tombstone was stolen. Saka tikuita drive yekutise another tombstone. Saka takapuwa budget re 1,200 quotation, 1,200 pounds ndo yatiri kuda. So far ndakangobata 60 pounds ndakapuwa no 3 ma 2020. And so kuti vanhu vari kuturangarira here. Saka I'll keep reminding you on daily basis. Whilst I'm reminding you about that, let me take this opportunity again to remind you that Thomas Tafrenyika Mkanya Mapfumo in 4 days time vanenge vari muno mu-UK. This is his last show probably in this country. We will never see him again performing live. Saka I'm encouraging the people of Zimbabwe kuti handeitese tinoona mashura ari kuda kuwana mudhara vasati vaenda. Tikavasiya vachienda hatizovaone futi. Tuzovadaidza mudhara kuti Mukanya uyai zvichashandi. Hanzi ndakura ndakuda kunozorora. Saka vari kokai vana veZimbabwe uyai ndikuonekei ndikutendei nezvamakandiitira muupenyu hwangu. Saka let's not forget. And vari kubhekwa nemufana anonzi Ngwazi wekuimba kuti I don't blame people for disappointing you. I blame yourself for trusting them. Kari kuya live kamufana akaika atombotokaona nai. Hanzi Mukoma Yuda murise ndakasimba ko voters roll which was tampered with. Ichagadziriswa here. Voters roll, to be honest, kuti ichagadziriswa kwasara 6 weeks. It's not working. Handisi kuona kunge ichagadziriswa. Handiti mwana. Tiri kushare ma-councillors 4 pakaipa. Saka you find guys nyaya dzati kutaura kuti ngatishandise any platform we find necessary online. Ipapa panapa ndafarira zvataurwa nemukoma wangu kuti be careful about your words dzaunotaura unogona kutengeswa. But panapa zvandachitaura ndezvekuti let's practice online democracy panapa. This is what is now affecting everybody. If we reflect on democracy, you can say anything you want as long as Sisiri encourage terrorism. Because we are not encouraging any terrorism in our country. Because we have got a terrorist government that we need to remove. Ndakataura inini ndikati when times to encourage people to take up arms and fight Zimbabwe government. Kana ichinge yakwana nguva yacho iyoyo, I will come live ndotaura kuti ini ndakuenda kumusha. I'm going to fight ZANU-PF government militarily. And I'm allowed to say that as a citizen of Zimbabwe. When I'm taking up arms to fight them, I'll come and say it clear. That Zimbabwe be ready. 𝗕𝗵𝗺 is coming. Nima soldier to Zorovana. Let's square it up. Ananga we know Tonganyika. And the morning. At the moment, to follow our democracy. Yakanofirwa nana baba vedu musango. Kune vayimbwa natukuda atikanganwe varere mumasango vasina makuva vakafira nyika ino vakafira nyika yedu yeZimbabwe. Anditi maona no democracy at true practice at the moment. Although we know ZANU-PF is not allowing us, we are going into an election 6 weeks to come. 𝗕𝗵𝗃 is the only political party in the history of Zimbabwe that has never been allowed to campaign in Zimbabwe. So we are going into an election without campaigning. Atina mbo campaign, we were never allowed to campaign. We are going into this election without campaigning. So let's take this opportunity to flood all the platforms and deliver our message to the people of Zimbabwe. The good part is that access 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃𝗲𝗆 vachamisa vari minister we-information vakameka sure kuti munhu wese anoafford line refone anoafford phone. So we can reach, we've got now access to my areas that tisingasvike. Taakumasvika nema-live on Facebook. Ndakafara musuno ndichiona imwe yakatrimwa iri kutenderedzwa nevanhu ichitaura zve43 years of in power. As 𝗧𝗵𝗺 is coming, the job for us. Pakaipa mukoma chichi pakaipa. Hanzi nesi ari kuora 350. Hanzi nevanhu vezanitsi yakawanda iyoyo. Ndikati aya mupengo yakawanda. Thank you atete mainunu zviri kufamba here. So we have got to an extent that look, let's merge all these platforms. Let's make sure the information that we have has reached every corner of the country, so that when people go into an election, they really understand what they are going to have. And our single rule is 𝗕𝗵𝗃 now. Our single rule. We've got one single rule for the coming 6 weeks. We need voter mobilization. Mkoma chichiro vatai kwenyu kwadoka kawo mangwana munongobimukira nhasi imandi ndeipi mkoma tumirai madyira muri sei andiri muri kuona. My personal appeal to people of Zimbabwe is let's go for voter mobilization. Atete constituency mangwiro zviri sei vatete. Let's go for voter mobilization, because we have never been allowed to campaign in Zimbabwe. We've never been allowed to hold rallies. It is the only even Ian Smith allowed ZANU-PF during Smith regime to hold rallies. But under ZANU-PF, 𝗕𝗵𝗃 has never been allowed to hold rallies. So I'm appealing, my personal appeal is to you, the people of Zimbabwe, to say now it's time we need volunteers. People who can even do door-to-door campaign. Kumeka sure kana kwakune vakanga vasati vachinja pfungwa, vachinje pfungwa. Hanzi ko Job Sikhala achabuda orini naye. Job Sikhala akutohopa kuti change of government, then he will be released. Or he will be released soon after elections. But what ZANU-PF doesn't want is Job Sikhala to stand as a member of parliament. They don't want Biti to stand as a member of parliament. These are two scary people in our country. These are two scary people. So what I'm saying now is, takuda volunteers, people who can do, who can sacrifice inini kumaraini kwangu ndichaita door-to-door campaign, who can mobilize voters and make them see sense. We want to mobilize them in our favor. And more. Because what we want to do, imbomeka a point yekuti uri wega iwewe, uri wega, imbo mobilize about 50 people. Just 50 people. Mobilize vako 50 uri one. and encourage those 50 to mobilize 50. By the time we get to an election, tinge tabo. Kana zvemarare zvokunzi ZANU-PF yaunganidza vanhu vachinzi uyai mabhazi mahara zvavajaira zvezve. That is not gonna work. What we want is to assure munhu wese kuti uchinge after election maguta auya. Doctors after election make sure you are going to earn what you deserve. Mapurisa nemasoja, magadjeri, our uniformed forces, after this election, you are going to earn what you deserve. Our security agents, intelligence agencies, MaCIO edu enyika, kwete ZANU, edu enyika, you are going to earn what you deserve. Believe me. Mari muZimbabwe, Zimbabwe ine mari. Ndakataura last time ndikati, Zimbabwe ine mari yekuti vakada those 15 million people in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe can afford to pay $300 to $400 per person every month for the next 10 years. That means mari irimo muZimbabwe. Hakuna muZimbabwe anofane nzara mwemo. Hakuna. The money is there. But the billions amainzwa achitaura pa gold mafia ari kupinda ma individual pocket, not to treasure to feed you. So I am saying to the CIOs, those who work for the country, that you are going to have a decent salary. Unofanira kuti kana uchipfura pamba pachizikana kuti pamba peMCIO, unovochiona kuti apa pamba peMCIO apo. Kwete zvakakuita mazuva ano mukembi zvataita ukembi. Oza ukembi utaitora olivini yai. Tocheka mashallots. Woisa mashallots muolivini. Munhu akapfura zvaroti hey, mba muri kukangiwa. Pindamo one chiri kubikwa chini madora. Bikwa madora nemandere. Chataikanga chetaikoziva kuti tumashallots tunonhuhwirira. Munhu waitonzwa kuti iro sadza rabikwa iti mashallots akangwa. Taidya sadza nemazai. Andimona. Saka uniformed forces of Zimbabwe, you are rest assured that after this election, come next year, unenge wane a decent salary under a new government. MaCIO, munenge wane a decent salary under a new government. Manesi, you are going to earn what you deserve. Imagine, after this election, 𝗕𝗵𝗃, President Jamusa wakapinda, wambofa kwana nesi achi-apply basa ku-UK. Unova kunotsvage ku-UK. Iwo uchikwanisa kuwana mari inopfura munhu ari ku-UK. Unoziva kuti ini ndiri muno mu-UK munomu. Ndikashandira 20 pounds an hour. Nesi ari kuZimbabwe akashandira $15 to $20 an hour. What he earns ari kuZimbabwe is more than what I earn ndiri kuno. Pabate ipapo. Saka nurses, doctors, those key workers in Zimbabwe, you are going to have a decent salary. You are going to earn what you deserve. Zvipatara izvi ndinoda kutaurirai, makazviona pagovernment of national unity. Load shedding yakamira. Zvipatara zvikazara mushonga. Manesi vakahora mari vakatenga dzimba, vakatenga motikari. Upenyu hukanakidza muZimbabwe. After government vana Biti agadzira economy, vakabva vafunga kuti vakuzvigona. Vakati tichada MDC. Vakatanga violence pondai roe vanhu. Roe mbitizi, tikarohwa zvekurohwa zvezvo. Look at where the economy is now. So you have got a very good example of who is going to make your life better. So the best way, or the next best way for Zimbabweans as human beings, is to make sure that you chat with your family members. You talk to potential voters. That tactic, yokuti iwe wataura nevanhu vako 100 vako wotaura nevavo 100, that tactic will make us win this election. Because we have never been allowed to campaign. Even tikakupai maflyers to go and distribute. Vanhu vanosvika kumanhonga muroad vachiti tikanhonga tosungwa nemapurisa. Tikanhonga maflyers 𝗕𝗵𝗃 tinorohwa. Because anenge achinzi mapepa muri kumwaya tsvina. Tine vafana vakavharirwa izvine zvekuyunivhesiti. hanzi ko hope tomutrust here handichazivi information yake mazuva ano is causing confusion. No, dziri kutaura nyaya superficially, hadzisi kutaura nyaya ine depth underneath. Pane zvazvosvika kuti bitanzi adyiwa, hazvinei nekunzi 𝗕𝗵𝗃 azoshandisa which method. Even nyangodadaita secret ballot aingodyiwa because mareasons acho ndaataura. Saka mukoma hope havanyatsoziva mareasons anachitaura panapa. He doesn't have that information. Information yandakupai papresentation ino is very vital. Very few people would know what I've told you here. Saka in other words, mune rombo rakanaka vanhu vari panapa nhasi. You have heard it from the horse's mouth. What problems Harare East is facing, and how did these problems emanate? Where did they emanate from, and why? I've told you everything. And more. Saka zvekuti ngoma hope chingono arutaura his opinion. That is his opinion. This is what he thinks. It's not a policy that 𝗕𝗵𝗃 must follow. It's not a policy that any political party must follow. It's just an opinion from someone like you. Ngoma Takunda, you can give your opinion. But Twitter, you can go and write anything. As this is censored, nobody will censor. And the man, Avana kumuda because of reasons. I've stated here that in any shepherd Yuda, if I am given opportunity to choose between Makam and Biti, waunoda parliament Indian. In I will stand on that bit in parliament. Because I know how effective he is in parliament. And more. But the people on the ground, if they were given an opportunity to choose, they said they don't want him. So who are we to force them? One of my reasons are, as Hope was trying to be Alex Magaisa said, he can't. Magaisa wanga machine. Because the problem is that Magaisa studied law. If Muganzwani Staura Panapa, Pama presentations out. You can tell that shepherd has got a background of teaching. Then understand a background of teaching. I can't simplify complicated things for people to understand. But ndinoya panapa ndaverenga ndasimplify ndaitaka research kangu ndokupa information iri simplified, easy to comprehend. Ndozvaita Magaisa aisimplify law. Kana achinyora aitaura mutemo in a simplified manner that every Jack and Jill would understand. Saka Hopewell is a journalist. He's just as good as 𝗕𝗵𝗃 𝗃𝗲𝗹. My journalists one were pompous under my big words. One find my lawyers. General Eric Knight, the general. Zurich Farmer Baba. Tell them, Mama. Thank you, General. Saka tukutarisa panapa kuti Hopewell is a journalist. I think Mkoma Eric Knight wari panapa. He's a journalist as well, I understand. Presenter as well. Who can present better than me? Who can write more things better than me? Journalist mazhinji vanovira kufarira chirungu chokungodisturba achida kutaura kuti shocked anokuti flabbergasted. Yobva wafunga kuti panyorwa something chinoyera ipapo. Hapana chanyorwa chinoyera. Saka what Hopewell is doing is just giving his opinion. An opinion that I can give is it's not a qualified opinion, but I can say whatever I want. That is not a policy. That is not law. Magaisa ainyora mtemo, o simplify mtemo. Wekuti kana ukaverengwa parliament, kana ukaverengwa mcourt, people would understand. Saka ndataura ndikati anyone anouya panapa pa presentation ino kuzoteerera anotokuudza kuti one ukanzwa ndichitaura you can tell. Chirungu chana mutsvangwa naBiti. Biti ane chirungu chake ka. Tenda ane chirungu chake choti akada kutaura sentence auinzwi. Akada kutaura zana addendum what chirungu chekulaw handichinzweni. But nechida someone anochisimplify kuti ndizonzwa kuti ari kuti chii. ndozvaitwa naAlex Magaisa. Saka ndataura ndikati munhu akauya panapa platform pangu akanzwa ndichimba dhirihora anokuudza kuti munhu ane military background because I'm a trained man militarily. Ukanzwa ndichidzidzisa ndichitaura ndinodzokerera information yekuti munhu anoboekana, but what makes me do that reputation is for you to understand. Ukatikaenda kuma principles kana ukatraina kuticha ukatraina teaching kuteaching tinoita zvezvekukondishena munhu kuti anzwisise zvezvekuti ukatora inonzi chigonzo ukariisa apa ukarishoka electrical ukarishoka next time haridzokero zandobatwa nemagetsi apa haritsikepo gonzo. But ukatora gonzo ukariendesa apa hanzi Yuda 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 general general uyo munhu wevanhu manje ndaishamisika kuti why general vasina live Facebook ngini inenge ichiteerwa nevanhu. Eric Knight the general kungopinda palive on Facebook nyika yese inomanya murume anodiwa nevanhu. He's so loved by people. Andimwa. Saka you find nyaya dzatiri kutaura panapa kuti kuteaching we condition zvakafanana teaching kwakafanana nepropaganda. ZANU-PF ukaona zvainonyora it's propaganda. Ukaramba uchizviverenga uchizviteera zvosvika kuita ngechokwadi rimanyepo. That's propaganda. You understand? So we are a political party that was never allowed to campaign in our country. Ukamaya ma flyers today, ma flyers, even if you distribute them, people will be scared to pick them up. Because vanenge vachichka. Saka what we need is takuda kuti iwewe nemhuri yako taurira naye. Mobilize 50, 100 people. Tell those to mobilize 50, 100 people. On the voting day, vanhu vese vavavo make sure kuti vako 100 vaenda vavhota. Vangu 100 vaenda vavhota. Tinosvika chete. Hanzi dhirihora rembanje namukoma last akakaipa kaikai taikarwara takwira makumbo ndaitanga neke kuti oyere hondo ayereye hondo oyere hondo ayereye hondo mapako hondo mataigara hondo mikwidza hondo yataikwira hondo ayere o aiai. Kana ndakapedza ikako ndakwidza gombo ndasvika pandakatanga oyere kokaikai nenchikwidza gomo kudai ndaive instructor nchitraina marecruits nenchikwidza gomo. Saka nokupati ufeme zvokuti haunzwe kurwadziwa unonge uchinzwa kufema uchinakirwa nemorari. Panonopera gomo robva ratanga dirihora iro vanogara mudirihwo dirihora rembanje vanogara mudirihwo dirihora vakomana. Saka njombo dzinenge dzakutsikirana tichirwa pasi ukanzwa tichirwa pasi unozva tichienda unozva kuti chabvondoka kuri kunakidza taiita kuti training inorwadza inakidza. Saka muchiona kuna mwana kuti ndikaimba panapa hanzi vanobhoekana. Aiwa musabhoekane morari tikukanda morari kuti zvinakidze. Ungagare 2 hours panapa uchiteerera unosvika pakubhoekana kana kuti munhu ari kungodzokera zvobhora. Saka tofanira kuti tikataura vanhu kana wakotsira pato vana dirihora vakomana dirihora rembanje vanogara mudirihwo vakomana vanogara mudirihwo dirihora rembanje vanogara mudirihwo usatambe navo vanogara mudirihwo dirihora rembanje vanogara mudirihwo dirihora vakoma. Ndakazonzi nevana vangu ndikanzi mudhara hamugone kuimba ndikati aiwa hatiimbe zvekurekodha toimba zvichimurenga tingechiimba zvekuenergiza vanhu kuti ngatisimukei tiende vakomana chauya chinoona inini anditi maona. Saka ndo zvatiri kutaura panapa tatosimuka nemacampaigns yo 100 people make sure kuti every day check on 100 people muri WhatsApp is for mahara man. You can phone 100 people a day vanodaira kumusha kumahara ofuti anditi maona. Saka this is where we are, government, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever every human being element are needed to conduct the voter, let's conduct the vote. Let's conduct the vote. because hapana patichatatambura tatosvika kudai. Inini, I'm not very good at zvinzvana media and so forth, but social media has come at the right time. Imagine dai kwakusina social media. Hanzi imboimba iya yekuti ndimi vakaura. Heko ndiwe vakaura. Heko kuti zuvari richingobuda moyo wako watsungaira moyo chena usandicheme ndoenda ndogaya baukama wakauraya ndiwe wakauraya ndiwe wakauraya ndiwe wakauraya hazvina mhosva baukama. Saka taikaimba ine imwe nzira tiri kuona prison ati zuvari richingobuda moyo wangu watsungaira moyo chena usandicheme ndoenda ndoga baukama takaura chidhumo takauraya hazvina mhosva imbavha zuwariye richingochema moyo wangu watsungaira moyo chena. Chiuto chinonakidza guys. It's very unfortunate that we did not get opportunity tese kunotraina chiuto. Nhasi Ngoma Jones ndikatopedza kapresentation richiimba emerina vakomana emerina basa tagara naro zvinotoda takabhema zvibo iwe bo emerina zvibo zvembanje emerina mai vako emerina avagone kutunga chuma iro basa tagara naro zvinotoda takabhema zvibo iwe bo emerina zvibo zvembanje. Hachiuto chinonakidza nenge muri kusango unana shambva muchinakirwa mwedzi inofamba 3 months to 6 months haumbodzioni kuti dzaenda kupi 6 months tingorada momark time hanzi nhasi pane morari hanzi munondigonera plus ndinodzidza zvakawanda. Thanks Ngoma last tenge tichiitira kuti vanhu vadzidze pana sandataura kuti munhu akauya panapa akanzwa ndichitaura anonyatsoona kuti there is background yeteaching, there is background yemilitary. I mix everything. Those skills are very important. This is why you see I'm not scared confronting anyone. I can confront anyone. I can stand in front of millions of people and address them because I've done it before. In the event nyika yakanaka mudzoka here zvane maconditions mukoma takunda kwatave kuno kutane madisease ndogara chitaurira vanhu kuti vanhu vari kuno kuuk vazhinji avo musafunga kuti havadi kudzoka kuzogara kumusha vanoda but ne-health system iriko at the moment tikadzoka hatirarame tosvika chifa because nyama dzedu dzaibva nekumwa mapirisi tine maconditions akasiyana siyana. Vamwe vazhinji munomu varwa nema-HIV, vamwe varwa nana-diabetes, vamwe vane ma-BP ekuti akasvika kumusha akashaya matablets acho munosvika achidonha achirwa pasi. Tane ma-medical conditions ari serious mamwe ekuti hatirarame tikadzoka kuZimbabwe. Saka zvinenge zvakudhipenda. Hanzi naMukoma Peter Manjese, Mukoma Yuda, moyo wangu unorwadza ndikaona live yenyu nekuti mune rudo nevanhu venyu. You deserve to be someone in Zimbabwe one day. Thank you so much Mukoma Peter, thank you so much. Because ndinenge chida kuti ndigare in touch with the people of Zimbabwe. Ndakataurira munhu ndikati inini vangaisa patriotic bill ravo reya but probably isusu tinoswera tiri palive tichitaura about Zimbabwe. We are the most patriotic people. We want a better life, a better Zimbabwe for everyone. And saka mukaona kana zvidhara zvezanu zviri muno mukazvichembere zvezanu zvezvazvo isitachembera futi tikachitozvichembere zvana shepard zvazvo tachembera hazvidzokere kumusha because munomu mune mishonga. Ndikarwara panapa ndinoenda kuchipatara mahara. Izvozvizvi ndikafonera ambulance musoro watema dzoswera dzakazara panze apo. Kana waona kuti condition yacho haichaiti ndondonitakura kuenda neni kuchipatara. Handimakwana pandakarwara covid paipai pakaya maambulance akatara achiyazonitora kuendesa kuchipatara. Saka hazviwanike kuZimbabwe izvozvo. Saka zviri conditional kuti kana nyika yakanaka handizorambi president vakafila kuti ndine a role to play in that country, handizorambi ndinouya ndovabatsira zvavanenge vanditi ndiite. What I'm tasked I will go do. Kana pasinawo role yangu zvakafanana nekuti pakapinda Zimbabwe pakapinda MDC mugovernment of national unity. Ndine mukoma wangu ari kuZimbabwe akandifonera akanditi wati vatsvangirai vangatadza kuapoindawo kana kuita kana ambassador ipapa paShepherd. Ndikati mapoliticians avo mukoma, we don't know. Zvikanzi apa ungamboshayewo kana any position unogona kana ambassador elsewhere because vari kupuwa in allocation yemaambassadors. Zvakasvika pakuitwa zvese government of national unity zvikapera. Mukoma wangu wakanditi let's hope kuti vachadiscussa issue yako muparliament kuti kana uchipuwa amnesty unogona kudzoka kumusha. Hapana chakataurwa nezvaShepherd Yuda. Our members of parliament vati kana ukatovafonera hapana angashoda kukudayira. Mukoma wangu akanditi Shepherd, unozviziva here kuti video yawakaita 2008 election rigging yayo was used as evidence kuti perform a government of national unity. Hapana Mugabe pairamba kuti akariga election. Hapana. Andiona. Because wakaprovide evidence that has never been provided by any Zimbabwean in the history of elections in that country. But political party yangu inini yainzi MDC, they never recognized me. Not even one. Munhu andakanzwa achitenda chiri nditenda ibita akati dai pasina Yuda. Ndiye munhu andakanzwa achiappreciate. The rest hapana andakambonzwa anonda appreciate. Hapana andakambonzwa anonditaura. Saka mukoma wangu aitonditaura achiti but Shepherd, unoziva here kuti zvawakaita dai wakaitira ZANU-PF by now ingada uchidya uchiguta usina ana problem. Ndikati inda zvikanzi ZANU-PF inochengeta vanhu vayo. Ndosaka uchiona vana mudhara ponela vachingoti ZANU vanenge vachidya, vanenge vachichengetwa. Andimona ndakati manje inini mukoma chinhu chasikade kuona muupenyu hwangu chinhu chinonzi ZANU-PF. I've never liked that party. I've never seen or dreamed myself ndichiti pamberi nezana hazviitike zvezvo. Kupfumba chibhagara yangu dai, that will never happen. I would rather die. Kana ndikabatwa panapa vakanditi ita pamberi slogan yezanu ukarega tokuuraya ndowadzaurayai. Ndowadzaurayai. Urayai. Panondite slogan yezanu ndiurayai. Anditi maona. Saka it all depends on politicians. Some they value you, some they don't. I never did it for recognition anyway. But there were reasons behind why I had to risk my life for that. So the most important facet here is the social media. Because right now, we are reaching a lot of people. We are reaching everywhere. I'm reaching 43 people here that I cannot unganiza and address. And more. Even if it's Vanaponela, that's the problem with them. The leaders just 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, same with their supporters. They can't accept constructive criticism. Isusu, 𝗕𝗿𝗃 is a different thing, Mgoma. We have andimona ndara varipopana naponela vezano vanongachiteerera varipopana, but aina ndiri parally ndakaunganidza vanhu 43 ponela humuone pano, but now is here because of social media. So let's utilize this. Let's talk sense on social media. And chandodira 𝗕𝗿𝗃 people avaite sevanhu vezano vaita sana maititi vanoswera chemukuti chako maiwe vana zvimwe zvinonga chemukuti chako. No, isusu we go there, we present information to the people, we involve the people, we involve voters, we convince them to see what good about 𝗕𝗿𝗃 if they go into an election. Ashamse mdara ponela achipinda mu election otaura alright, MP wangu ndoisa wezano asi president ndoisa weTripC. Ndozvikuita vanhu vezano vakawanda. Vanhu vanoda president wavo vanosapana president wavo, but MP vanoda weTripC. That is democracy. So everybody is doing that. Saka mutona tishiya panapa, we try to talk and convince the voters. Ndikaya panapa ndikati ponela chemkuti chako mangwana hauye hazoteerera hazoone chakanaka 𝗕𝗵𝗃, but I must convince him with the facts. I must persuade him with the facts so that he see the worth of my candidate. That doing that we gain more votes. Ponela mwana wagere pawaya anaponela, I don't think ponela mzano, but munhu anenge ari pawaya anazenda we anogona kunguwira enawo. So anenge achida people who communicate with him. And maybe you don't lecture on him, but communicate naye, have a conversation naye. Inini I do conversations in wakawanda and more rather than broadcasting here. Communicate to that person. Vanaponela watotaura kuma inbox kana kashifunga ndomufonera mudaro right and all. He doesn't see me as a radical. And boss, my intention is to try convince him, try monitor, try motivate him. As it's not ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has failed for 43 years. And we don't expect miracles in 5 years when they failed for 43 years. My brother Ponela needs to know that. And that we are a political party awaiting to govern the country. And when we govern, it's also that we don't mean anyone. We will contribute successfully to the development of Zimbabwe. Mwangambona Mnangagwa izvinezvi kana achinzi avaka bridge, he hastily does it. Anongovaka kana ngekuti mabhasikoro 2 hapesani, mamotorbike 2 hapesani, otouya ototaura kuti ndipe ribbon da kucheka ndavaka bridge. We are starved of development. This is what we are telling Wanamdara Ponela, that so far what we have seen, it's retrogressive. It's not progressive. What we have witnessed Mnangagwa doing, cutting a ribbon pachibridge yekuti mota hadzipesani. Ukaenda paFacebook page, ukaenda paFacebook nepaTwitter, vanhu veZANU-PF vatora road dzeku Pakistan vari hanzi basa rakaitwa naED. So you wonder kuti ED ari kunovaka road kuPakistan achitadza kuuya kuzovaka. Ukaenda painternet, Google, guys, Google yaya inokupa kuti we-identify kuti picture yakabva kupi. Ukatora picture ukati identify picture ine Google, inokupa picture kuti ne-location yacho ne-link yacho. Saka ZANU-PF people, I don't know why they don't know this. Kuti don't download my pictures pa internet moti ibasa raED. Takupuwa road dzekuPakistan. It shows we are starved of development. Zimbabweans, they need development. Atetabi zviri sei. Ateteliza muribo. ZANU-PF expect to do miracles in 5 years. Let's give us a chance. We've given you 43 years. And you need 5 more years. What for? And the on. Saka, when we are talking to ZANU-PF people, let's tell them this. Let's tell the grassroots that this is the reality. You don't expect miracles in 5 years from ZANU-PF. That will never happen. They will still come and tell you free education next year. Free education has been used to campaign since 2000. And they bring the same campaign strategy, free education next year, free education next year. Takuta ngemazombi, takuta kuti singa understand. Kuti hakuna free education inofa yakauya muZANU-PF. Hakuna development inofa yakaunzwa neZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has gone to an extent of dramatizing ideas. It's just a drama. Kwavari chete vanoziva kuti tikauya tikaita drama redu, tikarova vaviri vatatu, zvatopera tatowina. Andimona. Saka we need candidates who understand zvandiri kutaura izvi. Nokuti kana vakuenda kuvanhu, they change the perception of the people, the manner the people see how they will do it when they are voted in power. Andimona. So let's use this focal point. We are at a crucial time. Let's cover the ideas that we think are crucial. So, because we are not allowed to campaign. 𝗕𝗵𝗃 is going to pull a shocker. It is the only political party in the history of Zimbabwe politics that has never been allowed to campaign. During Ian Smith, ZANU-PF used to campaign. They used to hold rallies. They were even given an opportunity to launch an armed struggle in our country. But today, we are not allowed. But they were allowed by Ian Smith. Buddha was organized, was teaser, pins up foot, was Rowan and Ian Smith. Why Bumiro da Marari on his arm? Was there demonstrations? But they have never allowed Zimbabweans to express their anger. So we have become a time bomb. We have got compressed anger in us that can burst anytime. Saka that compressed anger ika baruka. Baba nenge lek kariba baruka. Chese chiri on the way chinonyura. Andidi maona. Saka what I'm encouraging 𝗕𝗵𝗃 people, aisi wondo. In our 𝗕𝗵𝗃 atina loser. Vanhu vari kusarudza munhu varumboti wechimbomira paside. It's a competition. It's a challenge. We must encourage it. Voters, they want to see that competition. You cannot be a member of parliament for 28 years whilst you were the one complaining that Mugabe is overstayed. You can't do that. When Mugabe overstayed, Mugabe had 20 years in power, people were complaining that he is overstayed. Now we have got a member of parliament, members of parliament, but now got 28 years. For 8 years more than Zawai took out Mugabe, I got some parliament. And the one. So unless you have got strong reasons to give to voters so that the voters can support you, so that the voters can trust you. As no problem with the voters who will give you 5 more years to go to 28 years. That is not a problem. On the condition that they understand you. On the condition that you are giving them what they want. Because if I look at Zimbabwe's situation, we have been bashed by police. We have been shot at by the army. We have been killed by the army. Debates were never done in parliament to rectify those problems which were caused by ZANU-PF, which were caused by the military. The parliament is supposed to put laws to ensure that those military, those soldiers won't be deployed again in future to kill our people. That was never debated in parliament. So we start to think, what's your purpose then? If you can't stop that, you need 5 more years as a member of parliament to make your tally to 28 years. Whilst you failed to advance policies that will stop police brutality in parliament. So quite a lot of things that Zimbabweans must come up with when we are looking at members of parliament. These guys who are vying for positions as members of parliament, you must be open to these challenges. You are in a competition with others who are equally good. I was talking about Biti and Makam. The two are equally good. Losing one is a disaster. But having Muna are incompetent, Muna not doing one, it's a disaster as well. And then one. So what we must understand, no matter how much we are going to say it, don't forget on the other side of campaign that internet on its own is not a real world. Don't go to tower around 36 panel, but still registered to vote. It's not a real world. So when you are talking to the people now, you have to be razor sharp. And Mkoma Masimba D4 on Zirize. You have to be razor sharp, especially on the ground. Ndaputaura ndikati pandatanga ndikati bururu wangu tenda is ndi bururu wangu cheche. But he shot himself on the foot. Achitaura zvinhu zvisingaite in front of voters. Denigrating another member of parliament, another 𝗕𝗵𝗃. Dai anga ari munhu wezanu waituka kuti asina mabvuya taiti no, that's fine. So his video went viral on social media. And the internet is not an organized platform. Social media, once something is thrown on social media, you have no control of that thing. I like Maizo, panga chitaura be careful, mashoko arutaura shepherd, unogona report zvakaitwa chinyanga. Because what you put on social media, you have got no control. You can't control who is going to listen to this, who is not going to listen to this. The world has got about 7 billion people. They will all listen to what you've said if they are interested. So let's be very careful. Our brother, our friend, our member of parliament, 𝗕𝗍𝗃 made an error. That video, it was a shot on his foot. He shot himself. That was a great error that he did. And look how viral it went. It was taken on the other context by ZANU-PF. It's very difficult now for Tendai kuti agadzirise zvaakatadza ipopo ipa. And his campaign strategy was not good. It was really bad. Because what he wanted is to gain actual votes, to win, to represent the constituents. You cannot denigrate another man like that. And worse still, is a Makamu is a white man. Murungu. Constituency atendai. Tikadaita census constituency atendai. 90% yevanhu vari kunana Borodale. Vanana kunana vanogara 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃, kunana Mandara, kunana Kamfinsa Chisipiti. 90% yevanhu vanogara kwekwe varungu. Vobva vanzwa uchituka mumwe murungu kuti asina mabvi. Vanonzwa shona kavaya. Ndave nema good friends angu ana Micheo ana Linda Sims vaigara ikokwedu. They could speak shona. Saka vozonzwa iwe wakuvatuka manje. Those are your voters. People you expect to vote you. Those are actual votes. Saka sometimes my errors are serious. Are serious. Tendai akaita a very serious error. And that video went viral. ZANU-PF grabbed it. The propaganda machinery is ZANU. It's not as sharp as Jonathan Moore. This is a useless propaganda machinery. ZANU-PF is dead, guys. Unene munhu andaitya papropaganda ndi Jonathan Moore. Zvine zvaako ZANU hakuna propaganda. Kana varakashi vacho chaivo havakwanise kurakasha. They can't. Look at what Jonathan Moore used to do. Yewe. Now he's trying it, but hazvisina impact because muZANU-PF they don't want him. Any step into ZANU-PF again, aripuwa poison. He's dying, that guy. He's dying. Mark my words. Jonathan Moyo ngudzokera chete muZANU-PF haakana kaita gore mundibvunze. Vanompa katototo kaika. Katototo kakapuwa ED kari mu-ice cream. Andimona. Saka strategy of campaign yakaitwa naBhururu wedu, that is not a perfect strategy of campaign. No. He should have understood that we are in a digital era, in a technological era. The grassroots iripo zvinenge ine mafoni baba. Ukada kungotaura any slight mistake kachika watopinda mugaba. Video yatoitwa, yatospreadwa video. Inzwa zvekutaurwa na member of parliament. And munhu akaitotora video iyoyo isupporta yaBiti. Yakabva yatora video ikaikanda painternet. So internet is a vehicle of every rubbish. Whatever you say, even if you say rubbish, imboita mistake. Andiri kuona last time ndaitaura ndikati andikuona zvakaita kana maititi vaitora namapictures ari nude, but pangoita one error chete mapictures aya atozara painternet. They're all over the world. Kana kanoripota kuti ndakasiswa manude pictures pane maponisters panapa. Vanhu vanongomuti aiponista zvatopera. Hakurara mupurisa anokusunga unongochiona pono you are a pornister. And saka what we need is a campaign strategy that work. My brother 𝗕𝗍𝗃𝗃, he made an error. That was a fatal error. Yekuti even ukateerera vanhu vachitaura kuHarare East kwacho vatoona ngemakamu aritoziva kuzovabatsira. Andiona. Saka when you go there, you must know certain things to say. Tendai is like that, I know. Kuti kana achitaura munhu anotaura anogona kutokusvotesa achitaura. Andiona. Ndichiremember rimwe day achazoita atanetsana achita enda kumba kwake. Ndakanzwa chakutaura kuti no yuda no ndingatikwakuteererana kuma kuteererana. Uri kuona hatane kana kutoshatirwa, but he's a very good gentleman. Meeting Tendai it's lovely. Ukasangana naye somukataura, you enjoy him. Achikutaurira zvaanenge achitaura. He's sensible. So I was shocked in a video here. That discussion yaitaura about Makamu, Sinama and so forth. That was an era which we should not continue to talk about it, because I think at the end you apologize. I haven't yet heard his apology, but I understand he could apologize. But 𝗕𝗵𝗃 is an established party which was established not on racial grounds. We cannot afford to segregate or racially members of the party. It's not by choice it's not by choice or a black man, not by choice or murungu. Bill Gates babongo. But you have got no choice where to be born. You can't choose where you need to belong. And on. So debating things on issues of color, skin color, language, that doesn't work. It's not for 𝗕𝗵𝗃. That is propaganda, says ZANU-PF. So I don't expect anyone from 𝗕𝗵𝗃 to say that what Biti said. That was an error. And let's forgive him. He's our brother. We have been in this struggle, in these trenches together. And he needs our support. So let's encourage him to constantly get in touch with the constituents. Even if he doesn't come in as MP here, he should continue to work with the people so that tomorrow people can Wachimuda, they'll put him back. Let's warn him. Could this time, we are in a technological, digital era, Tendai. There is technology. Any slight slip of the tongue, it's news to ZANU-PF. It's news to ZANU-PF. So be very careful whenever you do whatever you do. So we need to warn our brother. Tendai is a very good person. When I know that Tendai, I know that is a very good person. He's a very good person. When it comes to discussion or debating on economical issues, that sector, he knows it very well. And he has made Anonzani Mutuli Nue Kudagapinam Parliament. Mutuli does not sleep. He is scared of Tendai. He is scared of Tendai. This is why people are saying we can't afford to lose him in Parliament. And on. Saga, ladies and gentlemen, Panota Roma national policies, Tendai you find him there. Panota Roma economical issues, Tendai you find him there. Almost 5 years 𝗧𝗵𝗺. I recalled Dagadzoga. He was so strategic in debating issues. Tinema members of parliament who never even kosora. Wagara machemba. Munachika kosora kushka. And on. But TB chikasimba no point of objection oshi. Ade unonozwa kuti pakuma pakutawo. Ndakati wende, well done. Ndakati chibaya, well done. And the one. Mutseya mi prosper. Aiya. Mushino majuzu ya. Mpana Chidakwa, I don't know why Mabvuku has decided to sideline James Chidakwa. I don't know why. But given an opportunity to choose, I would choose Chidakwa to go back in parliament. There are reasons why I like that Chidakwa parliament. James Chidakwa, there are strong reasons why that guy should be in parliament. Because that's a constituency Mabvuku here. He always got in touch with those people. He knew the key challenges that those people were facing. But unfortunately, constituency Yacho, it is the only one in our country that has never retained an MP. Every time they want a new member of parliament, they want a new member of parliament. Others, they were stick on the moon and they problems. Panopinda second term, that person will ensure appropriate resources are available to that constituency. And the government will work with the government to ensure that all development in that area are enhanced. But unfortunately, that constituency does not retain a member of parliament. since 2000 mabvuku haina munhu akambozodzoka. Waingoti one term wari wapasi. Tenda Dzamera one term ari wapasi. Mbawa auya one term ari wapasi. Maridhadha auya one term ari wapasi. Chidhakwa auya one term vamuroisa pasi. Andinoona. So the time has come, ladies and gentlemen, for us to stand bravely together as the people of Zimbabwe. It's your time to divide down. Ndosaka ndikuona kuti muri kuona ZANU-PF is so happy kuda kutry kudivide vanhu. Kuda kuti hanzi chamwashuka ch-CCC. Andimona. They are so happy to see the CCC part splitting. They don't know that they already split. Sevius Kasukwera akati ari kuuya to contest Mnangagwa. MaZANU-PF ese. It's another split in ZANU-PF. They don't talk about their split. They are so concerned about the split yedu ye-CCC. Saka tiri kutaura tichiti vanhu imimi vanhu especially kudenga kuvanhu munozviti ma-leaders. Musasvika extend yekuti kana vanhu vakurambai kuma-constituencies moti hanzi ndada unostenda as independent as chi. Ukaona wabuda mupolitics this time hauchadzoki. Because what people just want is change. They want change for democracy. They want a better quality life, a better quality of life. They want a bright future of their children. We cannot continue to revolve around useless people. You cannot continue to hold the struggle at ransom. People are sick and tired of that. You can't hold the struggle at ransom. Because what we want is change. People, they want change for democracy. People, they want a better quality of life. Zimbabweans, they want a brighter future for their children. So if you continue with it, I'm the best, we ataneta kutenderera. Atichada kuramba tichitenderera pane vanhu vasina basa, vasingatarise kuti nyika iri vanhu vari kustruggle, vanhu vari kusafa. Hanzi ma-MP anofanira kuita 2 terms muparliament kubvisa ma-confusions. Biti anobasa rakawanda mu-CCC. Ane basa ndochokwadi ichocho ndewa. Andwana. Saka national plan ye-CCC, they probably need to stipulate this kuti haakwaita 2 terms mufese rowa pasi. Andimona. Well, that is something that we should be aiming to say to our people. Kuti aiwa takawanda atina kufoma opposition political party to employ you cheteka kuti yoramba uchidya vamwe vachifana nzara. Kana tichikuona ma-prospects of change in you, we need to change. We need to look for someone. We need to deploy someone there to go and do the work, to go and combat ZANU-PF. But ZANU-PF is a criminal political party. It needs real men to challenge it. It needs real men to promote change in our country. We need to create employment for the people of Zimbabwe. That will never be created under ZANU-PF. So it needs to be taken head on. And Saka izvozvo, people, when they send members of parliament into parliament, they expect you to debate on national policy so that you can bring better living standards to the people. Havasi kukuisira kuti uende unoguta. Havasi kukuisira kuti uende unodriva mazimota anodhura. Uchiti katakumisa murodhi hautuoni. Kwasvika patakaungana hautenge kana paindi redoro chairo. And what we want is takuda kudeploy soldiers who improve living conditions of the people through parliament. Because you are debating national policies that can promote whatever we want in our life. Sound economic policies should be debated there. Vanhu kutaura kwatiri kuita ngadai vanhu vachidebata the concept of living and equitable wages. Vanhu vari kuwana mari dzakakwana here, manesi ari kupiwa mari dzakakwana here. That should be debated. Kuti hurumende iri kuita ma-equal opportunities here kuvanhu vese vari munyika, kwete hanzi kana ukaitwa ma-army kwakutorwa mabhodha gezi chete. That should be debated in parliament. Andimona. Saka, we should be seeing people debating even our quality of education. Ukauya ndachitaura nabururu wangu nhasi akabva kuZimbabwe. auya kuno ari driver matrucks. He has been driving trucks in South Africa. Ane license yekuZimbabwe ndo yake yaruda kushandisa muno. But ari kuti akasenda mapepa ake kuZimbabwe kuti ndiri kudawo blue form rangu, certificate of competence, asi zvakaiswa kuarchive, they can't retrieve it. Munhu akutambura kugara kushaya basa, iye ari truck driver. Ataura yenyu mukoma, takawanda vanoda kupinda parliament. Okay, thanks, I'm coming. Anditi maona guys, nyaya dzatiri kutaura pana. So people should be debating quality of education in our country. Quality of education zvakafanira kuti kuto driver ikoko kutora license munhu andoenda kugara kuchikoro kunodzidzira. Saka na munhu asina kuenda kunodzidzira zviri kufamba sei. Ari kuda certificate of competence rake blue form ari kwanise ku divele anonzi chiedi they cannot retrieve it. Andimona. Saka kunenge kuchida vanhu vari competent iko kuya kuya. Kwapoenda vanhu vari competent vanda basa. Ukatasa education system yedu kudhara kwaiuya ma-expatriate kuZimbabwe vaiuya for short assignments vachibatsira vanhu. Exactly. Anditi maona. Saka we want zvinhu zvakawanda to change in our country. For change, especially ukatasa ku-health environment yedu, generation yedu never enjoyed health. Government yedu has never even formulated my concrete policies in terms of health. Government yedu isusu has never improved anything in terms of health. Nyika zvinhu zvatota deteriorate. Vana gender, ukatasa vana gender equality zvezve, vakadzi munyika medu, vakadzi are the most suffering people. My rights avo vakadzi. Pane kamwe kanonzi ka-gender sensitization. Vakadzi vane a lot of changes kumwiri wavo, vanofanirwa kuwana zvavasiri kuwana vakadzi vedu. Ndikatarisa tikaenda kuyouth yedu chaiyo hasisi kudhibatwa muparliament. Kutora mayouth kuvaendesa kuborder gezi kunomacha, it's not youth empowerment. Achidzoka kweka hana basa, akudzoka kuswa kuruzevha kunorova mbuya. Can we say we have realized a youth empowerment? No. Our youth has got potential to be engineers, to be teachers, and more. But they are not accorded that opportunity. Saka unotarisa kuti tine nyika isingatarisi human resources, haina basa nevanhu. Saka what we need now is the people of Zimbabwe. Takuenda ku-election, dauda kupedza, ya 2023, so 23 August. What we are aiming is a win and nothing else. And that win we are going to get must ensure that we introduce or establish a very clean government. For nyika yedu kuti iendere mberi, to implement everything very transparent, especially matenders e-government. Anogona kuisa economy yenyika. Kuti achaunza fuel munyika ndiani. Ma-government contracts ndo amuri kuona auraya Zimbabwe. Ukada kubvunza kuti Zimbabwe economy yakafa papi pama-government contracts. Mari yema-mines inoenda ku-treasury yaye. Kana vakuenda kunoita ma-government contracts nematenders, they inflate prices. Helicopter inoita 400,000 iri nyongwa isati yambofamba. Second hand yakanzi yakatengwa $10 million. And who? Tender yacho yakapuhana. At the end, that is looting in a government. ZANU-PF government is not clean at all. So these elections, when we go into this election, let's have that in mind. That what we want to establish is a clean government. When it comes to government tenders and contracts, they must be transparent. So that the country won't be fleeced, won't be looted. Things that our parliament should have debated. Zvana zuva, zuva chichi petrol chichi, zvaifanira kudebatwa muparliament. So buriso pachena ndezvani. Ana Sakunda paringonzi roundabout Sakunda, chakanzi Sakunda, the stadium Sakunda, chi Sakunda. How transparent is that tender award? Ngapinda ake mkomano. We want to establish a clean government. Kana kuchinzi kuchaitwa set up an independent anti-corruption agents, inofanirwa kuchiitwa iri anti-corruption agents. Kwete kuti maisa anti-corruption unit, obva patobatwa commissioner we-anti-corruption, kunzi akaita corruption, obva atosungwa ipapo. And there is nowhere we can fight graft, we can fight corruption under ZANU-PF. Never. If we look at a clean government, we will look also in an independent judiciary, that whoever is going to lead the judiciary must be independent from the executive, so that judges will do their job with integrity. No one should interfere with the judges. Politics should not interfere with the judges. And in one, tikadaro, we are establishing a clean government. Unenga kuziva kuti ukabaiwewo ukaenda kukoti, jaji havana basa nekuti uri politics and so politics, mutongo wako mumwe chete, convicted, go to prison. And in one, that will ensure that the services or our civil service, it will improve. Effectiveness and efficiency of civil service, people will see it. Kuti kana wakamira murodhi uchinyorwa tiketi nemupurisa, haasi kuti ndipe lifi. Mupurisa ari kutokusunga zvachose kutoenda kujeri. You understand what? So that everything that I've said, for that to come to pass, we need a democratic, free and fair election. We've got a very strong opposition party in our country. This is why you see ZANU-PF is panicking. This is why you see ZANU-PF is not allowing them to campaign. When Biti, they were so effective in parliament, they could check in the balance of government. So we want a free and fair election that will ensure protection of our freedom. The patriotic bill, you should not criticize the government. No. Government must be criticized, because those people were voted by the people and they were elected into parliament, they were appointed as ministers, so we must criticize them. If we allow that to happen, we will have a very good country, a prosperous country. If our government implemented that during elections, that will show accountability and efficiency of the government. If there is nothing like that, we are doing nothing. And that, I don't see this happening in ZANU-PF term. Andimona. Saka ndiri kutaura ndichiti, finally, let's talk, finally, Zimbabwe is a country that lives within a global community that should maintain foreign relations. Zimbabwe should have friends, not enemies. If you go to Zimbabwe today, America is an enemy. You go to Zimbabwe today, Britain is an enemy. These are superpowers. You cannot afford to create enmity with the superpowers. People want innovative ideas. United Kingdom, they pay people to think. Kugadzira motikari, they pay you to think. America, they pay people to think. Zimbabwe do not pay people to think. Good night, Mkomaweli. Andimona. So we must maintain friendly relations with other countries. We must not be isolated because of barbaric methods of government. The practice that Zimbabwe government introduced are barbaric. That has led to our isolation. This is why always these days I campaign, I say, elections, sanctions must go. Because in any way I was wrong on the other way. But I forgot my sanctions in Zimbabwe, they are targeted. Although they are targeted, but it's a web. I always tell you this. Kuti kana spider ichigadzira web, inenge ida kubata nhunzi dziri soft kudya kune spider. Nhunzi kangopinda paipa yabatwa. But you see that web rere spider rinobata nengoko. Kuti spider izodya ngoko zvinonetsa chigwati chacho hachirumike. Saka ngoko dzinenge dzingobatwa dzichifa ipapo. Saka you find ma sanctions akabata akaenda akatargeta uyo ma key players of the economy. That means yato a web. newe usine chekuita nematargeted aya unenge uchinobatwa imomo futi. And now ZANU-PF has taken this kushandisa ma-sanctions excuse wekuriga ma-elections. Saka, this is why I'm saying, why can't the West remove those sanctions? Things are not excuse yao. Where their excuse will come from. And the mon. Saka ndruto and for tonight, guys. Ndakupai presentation ekuti probably no one will make that presentation in our country. And munokwanisa by people to kill this. In the event ZANU-PF win the way they did in 2018, what's the way forward? Let me come tomorrow, Mkoma Takunda, and talk about the way forward. Because I've been here for 4 hours. Facebook. So I'll come tomorrow and suggest or give opinions on the way forward. What I think people must do when ZANU-PF rigs the election. When we try to confront them, why did you rig the election? And when they shoot us, what we need to do. So let me come tomorrow and dwell much on that and see what we can do. Remind me, Mangwana, can I remind me when ndisazokanganwa that topic, then I'll come and we discuss it. Kuti akuenda kuma elections, in the event those elections were rigged, to it say. Because as I'm speaking right now, most of us, we ran away from Mwanaso 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃. We don't allow 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 to come back and campaign as a president. Because when I campaign as president, akanzi 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 wina, inenge chingonzi ngoma ndiyo kuZANU-PF. Tikurowa akupere, kuurawa akupere. Zviri same ngoma Maxo. Kurowa akupere, kuurawa akupere. Nothing will change. Good night. Ngoma last. Good night. Vanhu vese, good night. Night.